All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this Total War tournament. It's been a couple weeks, but we are going to be doing a Swiss tournament tonight. So basically, you pick one faction that you want to play for 4 rounds, and after 4 rounds, the individuals who do win the big old event are going to be having some fun. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Life is good. We got the Chaos Dwarf trailer today, which is pretty awesome. Certainly enjoyed that one quite a bit. I hope they get a tabletop army. I hope we get them in Age of Sigmar, and then we can use them in Old World as well. That would be quite a bit of fun. I've always wanted to kind of paint up a Chaos Dwarf army as well. All right, so getting our first lobbies all set up here, and we should be good. Yeah, I was playing an Eltharion campaign. Yeah, I played a couple turns of that. It was fun for sure. So we have some lobbies here. Maybe I could cast a different one because I know they were on the wrong version of the game. I can cast a different one as well. So lobby, please. I'll cast your game. All right. Outstanding. So let's see here. I think we're going to be casting Tim the Wilder's game or Subutai's game. Let's see. Sounds good. We'll see who gets back to me first. And we'll go from there. So how do you pronounce... I have no idea how to pronounce that, dude. Hey, Smeagol. Dude, what are you doing in a... Do you play Total War? I always thought you were just you just kind of were an age enjoyer. Or have you been watching Total War for years? Yeah. Very hyped for the Chaos Dwarves. Very hyped for it. I really want to collect a Chaos Dwarves tabletop army. That's something I've been kind of fiending for a couple years. I think it'd be really fun. I really like dwarves quite a bit, but I already have an Empire army, so I kind of want to get a bad guy army, so when we eventually start to shoot tabletop battle reports, we can have a little bit of variance, right? So, should be good. Okay, so let's see if we got a lobby up this time. I think we do. We'll get in here, and I think the first matchup is going to be a Vampire Coast one. It still says it's a wrong version, no problem. I'll cast another... Okay, so let me find another game here and we'll jump into that in just a moment. So these are best of ones. It's kind of like a round. So there's a couple rounds and then as we progress, we just kind of get different matchups every single time. Hey, Smoking Hot Wife is here. Yes, happy birthday, praise Ashford. That's funny, dude. I like that. That's good. Sounds good. All right, so they can go ahead and play their match. Let me get Tim the Wilder here. Lobby info, please. And we'll be getting started in just a second. Looks like he's got that. Okay, just trying to find the players. Where are you? I know you're around here somewhere. I'll track you guys down. Sorry guys, just doing a little bit of admin work before we start, making sure that everything is good. Okay, looks like they haven't started yet. So we have a little bit of time. We're just waiting for a Nurgle versus Lizardman match, I think is going to be the first one we're doing. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the first on the old repertoire here. Yeah, man, it's going to be good. Sorry for pushing the map pack update so close to the tournament. Hey, no, it's fine. No worries. You didn't know it was coming. I didn't tell anybody. I just kind of had an impulse today to do one. That's kind of how I like to do my events. I don't like things looming over my head. So I just kind of like pull the trigger and go for it. Wild West, gunslinging, all that good stuff. Send help. I started a Necron army. Now I'm afraid of paint. Why are these things so tiny? So here's the thing. Necrons are probably one of the easiest armies to paint. You literally spray paint them silver with some sort of a spray primer, and then you just like dry brush them with a different, like a lighter shade of silver, and just paint like the green parts, and you're basically done. That's how it goes down. All right, so still waiting on Tim here. Let's see if there's any other backup lobbies just in case. So checking here. All right, so just checking in. Hopefully we can get a game. In my tournament, hopefully we can get one to cast. All right, let's see here. Lobby, please. Outstanding. All right, so we got one. I think we're good. Crisis averted. We will indeed have a game to cast. So we did have an update to the map pack today, so I think several people are on different versions, which is all good. Yeah, see, they're on the wrong one as well. I don't know if I'm on the wrong one or... so I'm just going to restart my game real quick and turn it on and off and see if that... can solve any of those solutions here. All right, so we're gonna try. They might be on the old version. Have you updated map pack today? Let's just check, guys. 1 second here. Going back. Let's see what we can get going. And I'll just double check. I mean, I just literally reinstalled the game and got all the settings, so it should be fine. It's not my birthday today. No, my birthday's in July. It's a ways off, actually. Gonna be turning 35, dude. Getting extra crusty. All right, so let's see here. Yes, good. All right, so turn that off. It says mine is up to date. It says my Total Tavern tournament map pack is up to date. So I don't know what else to do here other than just fire this bad boy up and hope for the best. All right, so we'll see if we can get these versions all squared away. Always remember Nuln Oil. Yeah, so you basically, like, the recipe for painting Necrons is like silver, Nuln Oil, dry brush with a lighter silver to get some like edge highlights, and then just like paint the green stuff, like whatever is like their green power weapons, and that's basically it. Come on. Okay, I literally only see one lobby that's like in the same version. So I'm trying to think of how I can update this. So there's a couple options here. It wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be a Total War stream if we didn't have like some super haggard shit happen. Like playing these other RTSs lately are just like, oh my god, they have dedicated servers and maps that just they have more than one or two playable maps. Yeah, it's pretty funny. All right, so let's go ahead here and go to the workshop. And what I'm going to do is just delete the map pack completely and then try and just fire it up from scratch. And hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it'll work. All right, one sec, guys. And let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right. Then we go back to the workshop. Bear with me for 1 second. Classic Total War stuff. Yeah, I'll probably do a Chaos Dwarf campaign. I probably will. I normally just like to do campaigns when something new comes out, but yeah. When the Warhammer Old World, will you be picking up a new army? Yeah, for sure. We're going to pick up a couple new armies, actually. Probably, I have an Empire army. We're going to do Dark Elves. But as far as new armies, they're obviously going to do, you know, Cathay and Kislev. Oh, is there some weird update or something on top of this? Okay, strange stuff. But yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting for sure. We're actually going to be starting a tabletop channel where we cover battle reports. So we're going to have a ton of armies at some point. All right, so I literally just reinstalled the map pack, so it should be fine now. Let's see. No problem, no problem. But I'm very excited. ASV says, it's like when you go to your friend's house when you were a kid and saw how healthy family behaves. Oh man, you got dedicated server and custom support over at Jim's house. That's a really, really solid analogy, man. All right, so I see a couple now, so it looks like we're golden. All right, so let's get in here. Do this. I guess I just needed to completely reboot the map pack, which is fine. All good now. So let's see whose lobby this is. And all set, never mind, all set. Other game. All right, so let's switch this. And we're good. All right, guys, welcome to our first match of the day. It is going to be a duel of fates, which should be appearing on the screen in just a moment. Between Menacing Platypus and Solo Spaghetti, it's going to be Skaven versus Kislev. Not a super common matchup, but both of these factions are, you know, not like bad factions per se, but they're certainly on kind of the more lower end of the totem pole as far as faction strength goes. And taking a look at the stats over on Total Tavern, we can evaluate these two bad boys right now. So let's take a look and see how they're all feeling, how our little rat friends are doing. And here we are. So looking at Skaven are currently sitting at a 46% win rate. Which isn't bad. That is taking into account the cheese with unsummoning your lord. So I'm curious how that would play out if that got, if they lost that ability to do that cheese. Now looking at Skaven, 46% win rate against Kislev, it would seem they have a decent 50-50. So they've only had 6 matches this season, but overall it is still 50-50. And looking over at Kislev, Kislev is obviously lurking at 40%. Nurgle considered to be hands down the worst faction. So that is the tail of the tape as it pertains to that battle. The Season 3 finals is going to take place just before the Chaos Dwarf release, most likely. Whenever we get like a hard date, I don't know if they gave a date today, but we're going to do it just before that release. That's the game plan at the moment. And yeah, it's going to be good because we want to start a fresh season with the Chaos Dwarf. I assume that Creative Assembly will have some minor balancing. My expectations are really, really low, but I assume there will be something in the way of balance. Bets on Hell, dude. It's not just Slaanesh needs a lot of different nerfs, not just Hellstriders. The mark of Slaanesh is a big problem. That just is so much better than everybody else. Yeah, Slaanesh at 81% win rate, and like I send that data to Creative Assembly, and they're like, "Oh, we have our own internal data. Thank you." I hope they take that into account because their internal data, which is just quick battles, is not an accurate metric. I mean, it's not good. Yeah, they do not want to bounce off that data. Ladies and gentlemen, here for the Skaven army, we're going to be having Skaven slave spears in the front lines. Very, very chaff-centric, which makes sense. Just send them forward, let them get run over by Kislevite cavalry and bear sleds and all that sort of good stuff. And, you know, live your best life. On top of that, it is going to be Globadiers. Kislev does have decent quality infantry. And these guys can do okay damage against cav as well. They have high armor values at 100, so if they're being shot by Kossars, they're going to be chilling. Oh my god, guys, he's got Tretch Craventail. Where is it? Oh my god, Tretch is here. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the greatest anti-large character in the history of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. Look at him go. And he's got a Chieftain as well. Chieftain with the power grab. I love that Platypus is playing like a true alpha here and isn't using this Skaven unsummon. That is such like, I haven't streamed a tournament in a couple weeks for this game. And I have to say, this is a great way to come back into it for sure. So here in the backfield, we do have Warplock Jezzails to shoot at cavalry. And for the Kislevite army, another army I love, like Kislev are hardcore underdogs. It's going to be an Ice Witch of Ice Baby using the Ice Maiden's Kiss to clear out Skaven clan rats. Armored Kossars back with Zargard. Interesting. Zargard, a bit of a risky choice against Skaven. Skaven have mortars, they have plague claw catapults, doom wheels, flares, globadiers, Jezzails. I mean, Skaven just have so many things that are incredibly good against elite infantry. So this is very, very precarious, but we'll see if they can be made to work. Aside from that, it's going to be bow spam, so kind of playing like Lothar and Seaguard playstyle. And what's going to happen next is you're going to see the big infantry army move up, and then Kislev after this is most likely going to be summoning in just like cavalry all day. So you're just going to be seeing Kossars, but dervishes and dervishes and dervishes and some more dervishes and all that sort of good stuff as well. Tretch about to get immediately unsummoned to go and get help. You see, at least that would be lore friendly. At least he brought like a lord that isn't a Skaven slave to do that with. But no, I legitimately think that Tretch is going to be fighting here. I think he's going for it. And what is the Skaven magic? Some delicious tea brought by the smoking hot wife here. I'm good to go, man. And what is this Skaven Lord or caster? Yeah, okay, it's going to be a Warlock Engineer with Flensing Rune, which makes sense. No Mortis Engine being brought. Mortis Engine, not a terrible choice on the Warlock Engineer. It's a really crappy one. I think it's like 5 to 12 damage or even worse. But over the course of a long game, it can get him to pay for himself and do some work. So the graphic settings for this, I can show you in between games if you want to look. Just let me know. My computer is like literally 6 years old. I did update a couple things in it, so it's not like a complete 6-year-old potato. But even still, it's not like the best computer, and we run it relatively well. So here you go. They're moving up. Skaven slaves, Jezzails, going to be pressing into the forces of Kislev. And what will the Warplock Jezzails be targeting is the question. Probably Zargard. Could shoot at the Kossars with spears. We do have triple Kossovite dervishes coming out, and now we see the firepower of a Warp Lightning Cannon. So Ikid Zap Cannon was summoned out for the Skaven, and certainly is a good choice. I mean, a lot of good targets to blast Kossovite dervishes, winged lancers, character sniping. You can also just shoot at Zargard and get some decent damage. And the Jezzails are already picking off some of the armored Kossars here, which is quite nice. They do have the shield breaker trait, so it does kind of lower the block chance. And here you can see the armored Kossar is going to be getting popped in the face. This is going to be an aggressive dive, and I feel as if a player like Platypus, who has insanely good micros, is going to be able to kind of deal with this pretty well. So here we see Wolf Rats. Wolf Rats will lose pretty horribly to Kossovite dervishes in a head-up fight, but obviously if they're supported by Skaven slaves and a little bit of chaff, they're going to win, and it looks like he's trying to punch through. Now, the problem with punching through on top of Poison Wing Globadiers with cavalry like this is that Poison Wing Globadiers themselves have 100 armor, so even if you get on top of them with the dervishes, it's not really going to do that much. They don't have good armor piercing. And man, the solo spaghetti going for the Rohirrim charge, and this is just very, very shady. Hey, thank you, mister. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Big $20, man, or 20. Oh, and that's not $20. That is a European currency. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. But overall, it's a pretty disastrous start for Kislev. I mean, they just basically threw all their dervishes in. I mean, I guess they do kind of shut down the Warplock Jezzails temporarily, and the fact that they have that like crazy unbreakable trait. Look at that. 15 of them get through, and they're trying desperately to shut down the Zap Cannon. I guess the value trading isn't the worst thing in the world, but overall, I would say that favored the Skaven pretty heavily. They didn't really lose that much, and 3 or 4 dervishes, I think 3 did end up paying the troll toll there. So yeah, that was a big one. I mean, it did give him the early objectives. It kept the Skaven from pushing up, and now we see the Dark Lord Tretch Craventail, guys. He's lurking in the shadows here. He's waiting behind the Great Pillar. You see him just like bouncing back and forth. Oh my god, Tretch is just such a meme. Him and his little chieftain. I mean, honestly, Kislev is going to struggle with those characters. They don't really have much that's going to be great against them. Tretch does have 90 armor. The chieftain also has 90 armor, and none of these Zargard are the armor-piercing variants. And now, I just think... I think what's going to happen is that the Skaven are just going to slow push with Globadiers and melt this entire army. Here you can see the Warp Lightning Cannon putting some big hurt onto the Ice Witch. Ice Witch getting pounded by the Skaven artillery in the backfield. What is this? Doom Flares! We got some Doom Flares back here, but the Doom Flares are intercepted by the Kislev Cats. The Capture Cats, as they were once called when they had a broken capture weight. But they are able to chase back the Flares, so that actually gives Kislev a little bit of an edge back in the game there. Kislev had that Really, really disastrous push, but then here you can see Platypus trying to have a little bit of fun here with the Doom Flayers, but does get intercepted by the double Snow Leopards, which actually are a very, very good counter against these type of things. So the Doom Flayers are going to be broken and chased. Now the mainline fighting is underway. Warp Lightning Cannon's hitting this this building, but it looks like they're still trying to snipe the Ice Witch. A couple shots have hit home. And Tretch Craventail, the Dark Lord of the Skaven Under Empire, going to be fighting in the front lines with his valiant clan rats. And we will see if the Kislevites can hold back the Skaven leadership as the two of them stack together, and probably will be able to grind through this blob. But obviously the Kislev infantry are going to be countered by Globadiers, and Rat Ogres are also a really exceptional counter against Zargard. Granted, Zargard have good enough stats that they can fight back, and they are being backed up by some of the archers here. You can see the old Rat Ogres getting pushed back by archer fire. Now we get some good cav coming in, so we do get the Winged Lancers, so they do run through the Skaven slaves. But it looks like they're on a mission into the backfield, not sure where they're going. Maybe going to be reinforcing the infantry. And it looks like that's going to be the case. So they're coming to back up the Zargard, try and fight some of these ogres, and maybe punch through on top of the Globadiers, trying to use that kind of like Bretonnian momentum charging playstyle. Now, looking, the middle objective has been taken by the Skaven. Kislev is in a bit more of a defensive posture. They have a lot of Kossars sitting in the secondary row, putting a lot of firepower down, which is giving them actually a pretty decent little trade on the value, but those Globadiers and Rat Ogres, man, causing a lot of problems. Okay, in the backfield, we got two Capture Cats. Capture Cats being attacked by Wolf Rats. Wolf Rats have god-awful leadership. Snow Leopards might be able to do something here, but I think the Wolf Rats in tandem. Oh, big Warp Lightning shots. The Warp Lightning shots are hitting the Rats. Oh, they're hitting the Wolf Rats. Wolf Rats might break it. It might free the Snow Leopards. But even still, the amount of damage that they were getting there is 100% worth it. 100% worth it. So on the other side, we do get Winged Lancers coming across. They are going to be charging into the Poison Wing Globadiers. So that is really big. If the Globadiers and the various other weapons teams elements do get taken down, the Kislev infantry will absolutely dumpster the Rat infantry. The Rat infantry are given the win via Poison Wing Globadiers as well as Rat Ogres. But Tretch Craventail, guys, he's still going pretty balls deep here, causing a lot of havoc in the backfield. Warlock, Chieftain, and Tretch, I really just don't think there's much in this Kislev army that's going to be efficient at dealing with them. And also a big win for the Rats in the backfield. It looks like both of the Snow Leopards were taken down by the Wolf Rats and the Ogres and the Warp Lightning Cannon. And it looks like the Warp Lightning Cannon was unsummoned. I think there was the Winged Lancers kind of closing in on it, so we just decided to unsummon it. But it's still a mission accomplished for Kislev. They get rid of the Warp Lightning Cannon pretty early into its lifespan. More cav diving in, so we see the old Winged Lancers charging in, and the Globadier is going to be taking a bit of a beating. Yes, they have terrible terrible melee defense, but their 100 armor gives them a little bit of staying power there. At Zargard kind of concave in from the other direction. Kislev has an okay fighting pocket right here. It seems as if their archers are trading well. The double Rat Ogre back here being pinned in place by dervishes and shot by bows, or bowfire trying to wear down the Globadiers. And what are the summons going to be for the Skaven? It looks like it's mostly Clan Rats on their way in. So Clan Rats with spears. Clan Rats with spears, a couple Wolf Rats to try and disrupt the cavalry and give the Skaven a little bit of a mobile answer. But Kislev is certainly trading evenly. I mean, that was a really, really rough start for Kislev. They pretty much gave up 1,000 value and got about 400 or 500 in return, so it wasn't like the worst trade in the world. Okay, for a second I thought I had the screen blocker on for the whole game. I was like, that would be perfect for sure. But even still, looks like Kislev keeping pretty even to the value with the Skaven. Back and forth game this is. Kislev does get the middle objective. The scores are dead even. Flensing Rune going down on the Ice Witch here, so that is going to be pretty punishing. The Ice Witch getting close to death, but honestly, you could just probably unsummon the Ice Witch and it wouldn't be a huge deal. All she has is Ice Bane's Kiss, which is pretty darn good at actually getting rid of Clan Rats. It's probably the best option, I would say. Spaghetti Monster moving in with Kosovo Dervishes, intercepting a huge horde of Clan Rats, which are trying to get into the backfield. I would imagine that these Kislevite cavalry will loop back and around and hammer these rats off. Middle objective is being swarmed by the Vermintide, so the Vermintide is pulling this one back. Meanwhile, Globadier is finishing off the last of the Kislevite infantry sitting on the objective right here. And on the backside, we do have Kossars with spears. Plenty of them still moving up. Tretch Craventail just being tar-pitted. Looks like a unit of dervishes is just going to be kind of tying them down for a while. And this is a good idea. Like, just like if you have Sigvald on foot or any of these powerful characters, if you have like some crappy cav unit that has good mass and you can surround and pin them in place, it is going to be an incredibly cost-effective trade for sure. More Winged Lancers on the way in. Dervishes pushing up, but the rats have been able to kind of re-secure the middle. And now we got more Doom Flayers coming out. Dude, I love seeing Doom Flayers. Doom Flayers are such a cool unit, just the wild hogs. So the Doom Flayer is going to be rolling, blasting that sweet rat biscuit music, and Globadier fire into the old Kossars, doing some big damage, but not as much as these guys are going to do once they get in there. Probably actually about the same, give or take. Big shock charge does break the dervishes, triggers their lore passive, not lore passive, but army passive right there. More Kislev cavalry moving up to try and re-secure the back objective, and here it looks like we do have some Zargard pushing up, 45 models, threatening potentially the back objective right here. So they might be able to kind of move over here and push off these Clan Rats. We'll have to see, but it kind of does look like Kislev is getting a little bit of momentum back, although these Doom Flayers could change that. The Doom Flayers in the backfield causing big havoc. And uh-oh, the Kislev losing their Lord's going to hurt pretty bad. Obviously, that nice crowd clearing she brings to the table is huge. And I think she's going to go down from this Cleansing Rune. 448 HP, 350. Oh man, it is such a long-lasting spell. She gets one more Ice Maiden's Kiss to try and clear out some of the spheres right here, but she is going to be going in. The Horned Rat is going to be cackling once more in the deep as the Cleansing Rune does banish the Kislev Ice Witch back to the frozen north. So, good Skaven magic right there. We do see the Skaven holding proud. All of these Clan Rats doing pretty damn good. The Clan Rat Sphere is very, very good against the Dervish spam in the late game. Kislev doesn't have too many active infantry on the battlefield. And here you can see the Zargard are trying to chase down the Clan Rats here. And yeah, you know, I've been playing a lot of Company of Heroes 3 lately, and this kind of reminds me of like when somebody throws smoke on an objective and just runs in circles to delay the cap. Now we get some Eshin Triads coming in. Eshin Triads are not like amazing versus infantry, but they do have good armor piercing. So a full health unit of Eshin Triads should be able to defeat some Zargard, who are in very, very bad shape here. These guys are very beat up. They also have Weeping Blade, so it lowers their armor down to 45, which means that the Clan Rats are going to be able to kind of stack in there and get some good work. So yeah, nice defense on the back objective. The middle is just going back and forth and back and forth. Very, very close game, but Platypus seems to be starting to edge this one out a little bit, although the value is just so even. I mean, I feel like this game is just a powder keg that at any moment could swing either direction. Kislev losing its Lord was pretty disastrous. Tretch Craventail still going strong. Him and his little Chieftain back here, you know, probably not a ton of value. Let's see, yeah, 270 value. And the Chieftain is sitting at 390. Probably having these guys fight on the objective would be better here if they could fight these guys, because then that would give the Skaven 6 capture weight, which would be incredibly tough to remove. Because it looks like this one's actually going to be going back to the frozen north, so Kislev is able to grab this one. We see some more Snow Leopards coming out, Capture Cats. Back objective, which is owned by Kislev, is currently being flipped. And now, do we have Death Runners coming in? Okay, we actually got some Death Runners. All right. That's pretty hype. Death Runners are good against Kislev if they're not being shot by bows. Now you can see they are able to butcher through infantry pretty quickly. These little rats up to 61 kills should be able to absolutely massacre these Kossars right here, assuming no cap support comes in. And the Snow Leopard, is it going to get there to save the objective? This is pretty close. It's an expendable Skaven Slave, and look at that. Big play. The Snow Leopard itself does have 3 capture weight against Skaven Slave, which in their current state probably has like 0.75 capture weight. So the Capture Cat is going to hold on to the objective, and the middle objective also taken by Kislev as well. This is a really, really knockdown, drag-out game, but Skaven are about to get a huge resurgence of units. Most of them are just Skaven Slaves, though, so not going to be like insane capture weight, but you can see it flips super quick once Tretch as well as the Chieftain come back on the point. And Snow Leopards are basically going to be hard countered by Tretch Craventail. It's not often that you say Tretch is a hard counter to something, but in this case, Tretch is 100% a hard counter against the Snow Leopard. He's anti-large. He himself obviously is heavily armored. Snow Leopards do have good armor, I suppose, but they really, really like to be fighting large targets. So it looks like the Capture Kitty is going to be running away here. Back objective is maintained by Kislev just barely. And on the side, it looks like there's no fancy play here. You could send one Winged Lancer. Like if Kislev were able to muster up a Winged Lancer and come and push this backfield objective, you might be able to get it. It's hard to say. With Wolf Rats and Skaven Slaves, yeah, they for sure would, but obviously the Skaven would probably respond by getting a Rat Ogre, or Rout Ogres, we love to call them, and just moving over to the side point and yeah, just doing it, man. The big charge coming in here, Winged Lancers into, you know, Brace Spears, not going to feel good. I have to say, though, a really, really good effort here by the Kislev player. I think he's starting to really, really fall behind in this game. Skaven don't have any Globadiers out on the field anymore, so I suppose there's some opportunities, but the fact that it pains me to say it. Doesn't pain me, but it feels strange that the Chieftain and Tretch here are going to be really the things that close out the game, because Kislev is looking super bare bones, and it's very normal for Kislev players in the late game to spam out cavalry, but it's going to be Kossovite Dervishes, it's going to be Winged Lancers. He gets a nice charge into these Clan Rats here, but overall, too many cheap spears on the points, going to be able to mitigate the effectiveness of the Winged Lancers. Winged Lancers coming and trying to salvage their back objective, but now we see this Skaven with a complete takeover in the game, sitting at 1, 2, 3. So all 3 objectives have been captured here as the Winged Lancers get a big old charge in there. All right, so any hope for Solo Spaghetti to come back? I don't think so. I'm looking around, not seeing too much, mainly just Cav. You know, if his Lord was still out, that would be very helpful, getting those Ice Maiden's Kisses to nail down these Clan Rat Spheres, allowing your cavalry to kind of bunker bust them a little bit more efficiency. We're also getting Eshin Triads into the Cav in tandem with Wolf Rats, and that's a really, really nice combo. Eshin Triads anti-large, the lowering the armor, which isn't super pertinent against the Dervishes, but against Winged Lancers it is. It's a pretty sweet combo. So yeah, that's got to be GG. I would not be surprised to see the Spaghetti call the game here. I don't think he's got any chances, but he played a very, very good game. You know, he's playing what many consider to be a bottom 2 faction against, you know, kind of a more lower mid-tier faction. But, you know, Platypus is also one of the best players in the entire world. If you guys haven't seen Platypus play before, in pretty much every major event we've had, whether it be Total Tavern Season Finals or, you know, Spring Championships or most major events, Platypus is always in the top 3 almost. You know, usually he'll end up battling his clanmate, Houseplant, in the Grand Finals and having a duel of fates there. But yeah, typically, Menacing Platypus is always going to be in the top run of like every tournament that he plays in. He is a very, very good player. So, looking around, I'm not seeing any hope here. Skaven got the triple cap. Kislev seems to be running out of steam. Maybe going to be able to swing this objective back. The value differential is pretty big now, though, and Kislev doesn't have any healing or anything like that. So just moving in with some bows and trying to slowly get back in the match, but overall, it is a tricky pickle. And yes, we're live, man. We're live. It's raining here, just a cozy, rainy night. Figured let's have some Warhammer, let's have some big action. And coming off the excitement of the Chaos Dwarves, we got to talk about that a little bit as well. So we'll be doing that in between games as well. And cool, man. GG, well played. Kislev, very Chad play here, manages to get their back objective, but there's no way they're going to uproot the Skaven from the other objectives. There's no way. This is an unholy amount of rats. And I find that Kislev infantry... This matchup's a tricky one. I'm trying to think how I would approach it as Kislev. I would probably do the same thing he did with Ice Witch. I still think the sleds are decent. But yeah, the sleds do get countered by ogres and Jezzails. And it's a tricky matchup overall, guys. I'd have to go to the drawing board on this one for sure. But he played a really good game. Honestly, the value was super close. Like up until like the last like 3 or 4 minutes in which we've been talking here, as if the game was over, it was the value was neck and neck. I mean, it was really, really close. If he hadn't thrown away those dervishes in the beginning and had been more conservative with them and gotten more effective engagements, we could have maybe seen a different game, right? Like he lost a ton of value. And yeah, guys, we have Tretch Craventail. He won the game. Whopping 400 value on that bad boy. Doom players of the Skaven going to be rolling in. The Rat Biscuit is here and they're going to be charging in. You got to love Doom players. Pretty cool unit. All right, there they go. I believe these are the spear variants. No, they're just basic variants, and they're not going to have their spears, and they're going to get lawnmowed by these rats here. They're wavering. Leadership's pretty fickle, but not going to matter. As the Under Empire claims victory, yes, yes. So, guys, if you have any questions, I know there was a couple questions during the game. Couldn't answer them. I was in the heat of commentary, but if you guys have any questions about Total War, any other stuff, tabletop channel that we're going to be starting, now is the time. Just make sure to tag me if you do it. I can see those better. Let's see here. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. Here's the thing. Total War, when it was made and designed, it was a single-player game. I mean, it has multiplayer. It's just kind of a really kind of tertiary, casual aspect. But we, as a community, like through passion and hosting all these tournaments like ECLs and Ever-Chosens, we turned it into like a viable competitive scene. Though it's still niche and small, we've grinded over the years. And thankfully, there have been some folks at CA who've kind of helped kind of share. Like Dogbert back in the day, he used to work there. He's a big esports guy. He used to be really, really about the multiplayer. And, we had some really good times. And there's still going to be more good times to come, I can assure you. But yeah, like in terms of like getting frequent hotfixes for this game, I don't think it's going to happen. The priority is like, just ironing out the campaign stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited for Chaos Dwarves. I have an ominous feeling that they are going to be really good. I think the Chaos Dwarf infantry should be like more elite. Like, is otherwise, like if Chaos Dwarf infantry are just like as good as Dwarven infantry, like in tabletop, Dwarven infantry are better than Chaos Dwarf infantry. Like Dowie infantry are better than Dowie Tsar infantry. But the advantage that Chaos Dwarves have is they have more of a range of artillery, they have monsters, they have magic, they have better chaff, or more cost-effective chaff, I suppose you could say. So I'm really curious how they're going to balance them, because like when you look at them, you're like, they basically have Thunders, they have Dwarf Warriors, they have like everything the Dowie has, but then they have these giant War Beasts and magic and like Manticores. I don't know how that's going to be balanced out. Loyalist version of Mortarion, that'd be fun, but I like him as kind of a Death Guard Demon Prince. I think it's really cool. Any word on maps to be made official by CA? It's a subject I broached with them, and they said that once there's like a little bit of a calm after releasing new content, that they would be interested in exploring that and meeting with me about it. So I'm going to have some meetings with them, hopefully in the next like 2 or 3 months, and we can try and make that happen. I'm going to do the best I can. When you open a tabletop channel, will it be Old World? So the tabletop channel is primarily going to be Warhammer the Old World, Lord of the Rings Middle-earth strategy battle game, and Warhammer 40k. Age of Sigmar down the road, but it's not on my initial roadmap. It's not a setting I enjoy that much, though the game is good. It's not a setting I'm super like rock hard about. Yeah. I mean, have there been any new factions released that weren't OP? Okay, so if we're talking like DLCs, like Lizardmen have gotten like 2 bad DLCs where literally like none of the units are good. So yeah. Yeah, I'll do a Chaos Dwarf campaign, 100%. All right, so let's go take a look at the tournament, see how we're looking. We should be getting to that 45-minute mark soon. We're still a little bit early here. We got some time. All right. Let's see and take a look. So we still have some matches being finished. Okay, so Tim the Wilder and Ghoul, Slim, Cognito, and Circia, Subutai and Stingers, Kitars, and Hitman Hippo. So we still have 4 games that should be towards the tail end. There's 45-minute round timers, so technically these rounds have about 9 or 10 minutes left to finish. But again, we give it a little bit of cushion. It's just kind of a loose guideline. We're chilling tonight, man. We're taking it easy. We're enjoying each other's company, so no stress there. I want Skirmisher Cav Noblars riding saber tusks. Ninja Star Noblars riding dogs. That would be pretty sweet. Thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, like Noblars riding saber tusks. I feel like saber tusks are too feral, and that they would, like, if a Noblar was on its back, they would want to eat it. You know, that I feel like that would be the problem. Yeah, Lizardman DLCs were pretty terrible. Yeah. But as far as like new races, like, yeah, Vampire Coast was really OP at launch. Tomb Kings were pretty good at launch, but they weren't as overpowered in my memory as the Vampire Coast. But yeah, as far as like race packs, Warriors of Chaos in Game 1 were okay, I guess. Yeah, they were kind of like their own thing. Yeah, Vampire Coast was the biggest problem because Depth Guard were like super overtuned, and there was a couple other things in the roster that were just busted, so I don't remember Tomb Kings being that crazy. Yeah, neither were Beastmen. No, actually, that's not true. Beastmen were very good at launch. But it wasn't the faction overall. It was just one character. Morghur, at launch, was probably one of the most broken characters in the game. Because Morghur at launch, he had, I believe at that point, did we have infinite healing caps back then? I think we did. But Morghur had 4 Chaos Spawn summons. It was insane. So right now he has 2, but he had 4. So basically, Morghur would just run into the battlefield and guarantee you that you're getting 4,000 value worth of summons. It was just crazy good. I had a game way back in the day. I don't know how many of you guys ever saw this game. This was like back in like 2017, 2016. I played a game against Heir of Carthage, and I was just starting out YouTube back then. And I had my Morghur the Shadowgave literally like solo like half of his Wood Elf army, even though he had clearly done very well. It's just Morghur was just OP. Yeah, Morghur was just stupid broken when that came out. So let me just check, make sure there's no issues here. Seems like we're good. You're welcome. No problem. All right, so checking the tournament chat. No problem. We will give you a break. Okay. So it looks like Tim just finished his game as well. Let's go ahead and keep tabs on everything here. Okay. Looking here. A couple games wrapping up. Yeah, we should be good. All right, so let's just hang out. Let's chat. Yeah, the Old World news is pretty cool, man. Honestly, it exceeded my expectations. Let's take a look at that together, actually. So let's go to Warhammer Community. So I honestly was expecting Warhammer the Old World to kind of get the Forge World treatment and be sent to Forge World, and all the models would be resin, which I hate resin models. But I thought that's what we were going to be getting, right? But they're getting straight up new plastic armies. Like, they're redoing the Bretonnians and the Tomb Kings in plastic, which is insane. So you guys are going to get a Cetra model, most likely, which I'm so excited for. So if we head on over, here's the Old World Development Diary. So you can see new Bretonnian helmets. Dude, I can't believe it. I'm so excited for this. You can see they have the shields with open heraldry, so you can draw whatever heraldry you want. See some weapons here, and you can see some of the new Tomb Kings aesthetics. So they have I believe those are called Kopeshes, those weapons. You can see the bony hands. Dude, I am so excited for the Old World. I'm even more excited now. It exceeded my expectations. I thought we were just going to get like, my thought was that we get like a book that has rules for every army. It's very minimal to support old armies. And we get some like a couple resin models here and there, maybe like Kislev and Cathag in an army, but I did not expect them to go back and do justice to the Tomb Kings and to the Bretonnians. They're gonna probably just re-release plastic Dark Elves, plastic Empire, and like over time release characters and like supporting stuff. But this is very, very exciting. I'm very hyped for this. Yeah, look at that. How cool is this? This is legit. This isn't like I think it even mentioned Cetra in here somewhere. Let's see. I don't know if it does. Yeah, but man, we're gonna be getting something soon. I think we're gonna be getting some news soon. Hey, Turtle Punch, thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, my friend. You reminded me, I forgot to put this up. Our goal for the month. Yeah, there's going to be a Bretonnia vs. Tomb Kings box. There is. And then, here's my conspiracy. We're going to get a couple starting boxes. I think Bretonnia vs. Tomb Kings, this makes it pretty obvious. And then, I think we're also going to get Kislev versus, like, Khorne or something. Like, there's got to be a Kislev starting army, I think. So I would wager they'll bring them into battle like corn, and they're just going to repurpose some of the Age of Sigmar models. Hey, man, thank you so much, and welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, my friend. Greatly appreciate it. Oh, I'm so excited. Just give us some new Eshin and Pestilence models. They actually gave you guys a new Deathmaster character in Age of Sigmar, and he's going to be used for Old World 100%. So, yeah, man, it's very exciting. So we'll be starting the next round soon. We can, in the meantime, take a look at some minis, too. We just have to wait till the round. Oh, never mind. The round's done. All right, dude, look at that timing. That was impeccable. All right, so let's advance it. Looking good, and advance. Here we go. You are a proud Duke of Haggard. Yeah, we got a bunch of green names in chat tonight. Why did that not work? Uh-oh, that's not good. Everyone finish? Did I accidentally click final? Oh, okay. Never mind. It's fine. I accidentally logged myself out of Total Tavern, and it made it like all my admin controls disappeared, and I was like, Anakin, I'm too weak. All right, so that looks fine. All right, so let's advance the Swiss. Come on. Don't log me out again. Don't do it. Huh. This is very strange. I've never had this happen before. It's like booting me out while I'm trying to advance my round. All right, so how can I solve this? Let's see if I can ask someone. Okay, calling in some support from my other tournament hosts. My own website has turned against me. All right, Platypus is going to advance the round. Hey, it's Misha. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. The Lario model for AOS on the back of a giant bug is... Yeah, it's a cool model. It's a cool model. Yeah, it is. It's a little bit over the top for me, though. I like more grounded stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. The Age of Sigmar aesthetic just doesn't tickle my pickle. It really doesn't. That's a very, very strange one. So, okay. Am I going to have to, like, do this manually? Let's check here. Okay, give me a second, guys. This is weird. I haven't had this happen. What could it possibly be? Like, why would it log me out? Maybe I have to go to the back end of the tournament. It's treason then. It really is, dude. It really is. This is truly treason if I'm not able to advance my own tournament. Huh. So when I go to advance my Swiss League, it is logging me out at the moment. Attorney is live and streaming. The web developer just happened to be up. I know he's over in Europe, so he's gonna check it out right now. Thankfully he was on. Shout out to Paul. He's the developer of Total Tavern, so he's gonna take a look here and see what's cracking. So I'll try advancing it one more time. And did it work that time? No, it logged me out again. Oh, this is definitely some treason. Oh no. Maybe I have to open in like another browser or something and log in. Dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the Old World tabletop game. That's something I'm just like super looking forward to. Okay, let's check here. Getting logged, that means the server is returning an error. Okay, let's see what he's got. So he's giving me an update. He's been playing, we've been playing some Company of Heroes 3 with him as well. It's been quite a bit of fun. Oh, hail Paul the engineer, keeping Turin's engine of the gods alive. I know. It logged. Host as well. He's going to advance it for us, and then he's going to see if it returns an error. And we're going to do some live testing here. Okay. Starting next round in a moment. He has like the admin tools in the back end to just do the straight up magic here. Help us, Polican, we're too weak. yeah, Skynet is activated. Dude, the trailer was sweet, man. My wallet will never recover from Old World in 40K. Yeah, same here, dude. Gonna get karate chopped. I'm like, and I'm also into the Lord of the Rings Middle Earth game now too, so I have that. Granted, that game is super cheap compared to the to Warhammer. I mean, it's still a Games Workshop game, but it's really cheap. Like, let me show you guys in the meantime. We have a little bit of downtime, so I will show you the models. Okay, so that's firing up. Let's do this. So this is a Middle Earth strategy battle game. It's so fun. I love this game. These are I actually have I have the Faramir right here. These are the 3 heroes I use most of the time. But like for example, like if you look at like Warhammer, let me do a quick comparison, okay? So let's say you want to play Minas Tirith, okay? You want to play Gandalf and Minas Tirith. You can get a Minas Tirith battle host, and this, guys, is more or less a full army. I mean, obviously you can play bigger battles, but this is $90 US, right? This is a full army. Like Gandalf's really expensive. You get a couple cavalry, you get archers, you get a hobbit as well. This is a full army, right? And then you go to Warhammer 40K, okay? You guys really want to see the karate chop in the old wallet? If you go to the start collecting, so you are literally paying $160 for this, okay? Let's even look at this. This looks like a bit of a bigger army. This right here is like, is probably like, okay, so let me do the math real quick. This is probably like this is like, not a third. Yeah, this is like a third of an army, a little bit more than a third of an army for $160. And these aren't even like the optimal units, right? So like, it is such a karate chop to get into. Such a karate chop. Yeah. So that is just another example there. Whereas like in the Lord of the Rings game, you can get into it like dirt cheap. So you can have Gandalf 2 times in the army? No, what's cool about the Middle-earth game is that when they sell you a character, they sell you every version of that character. So like when you buy, like I just recently got Boromir. I got him from, I can't remember if it was like eBay or something. Let me show you guys. So the dev is still taking a look into the issue here and seeing if you can figure it out. Yeah, so we go here. And yeah, so if you buy Gandalf, you get him on mount and you get him on foot. And if you get him on foot, you can bring Peregrine Took as well on foot, right? So that's kind of like the standard. Here's Boromir, Captain of the White Tower. Yeah, so you can see you get Aragorn on foot and mount here. You also can get Boromir, and he comes with 3 versions, each of which are different, right? Like, so yeah, you can get a pretty sweet deal right there as well. Some of the models look so haggard though in the Middle-earth strategy battle game, but some of them look really good. Like if you look at Isengard, I personally think that this is the best starter box like for getting into the game. You get Saruman, you get Grima Wormtongue, those are your 2 heroes, and then you just get a bunch of different types of Uruk-hai. You get Uruk-hai scouts with bows, you get like siege Uruk-hai. It's a really, really cost-effective and very, very strong army. And Saruman is quite good too. So the Rohan one is also nice. You get King Theoden and a bunch of riders and warriors. And yeah, it's very cool. It is very cool indeed. Does Boromir die in every tape? No. It's the opposite. And sorry for the delay, guys. The website's bugging out a little bit. So we have thankfully our dev is online, or else I would just do it manually. So dev is looking into it. If we can't get it back tonight, I will do Swiss automatically. So I can just do manual pairings. It would be pretty easy. I would just tag them in Discord and we can continue our tournament. In tabletop, Boromir is a beast. Boromir is one of the best characters in the entire game. He's a monster and he's super hard to kill. Clayton, yeah. Yeah. That would be fun. Most of them are like 20 years old. But yeah, a lot of the models are from the early 2000s, which is crazy. Like, because they came out in tandem with the movies, right? We can blame Tim the Wilder. Yeah, who knows? Why is that? Oh, Tim's saying it might be him. Let's see why. Shouldn't have too many issues. Is it because we added you? Oh. Interesting. Well, Dev is looking. Let's see what he has to say. So we did add someone late, and it might have screwed up the matching. Oh, okay, that might have been it. Manual pairings may be the way to go, or I can fall on the sword to have tournament continuity. Okay, let me tell my web developer guy. Okay, so we did add someone late to an open round with a bye. That could be causing it. See, we're doing a little bit of quality testing here. We're figuring things out. Yeah. Yeah, the Aragorn model looks really haggard. But Aragorn is quite good in tabletop as well. He's quite good. Okay, so let's see here. So we can try removing him and see. So we might have to remove one of the players who we added late to continue the tournament. Okay, so we will remove you and test to see. It should work though. It should. You should be able to do that. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, we're gonna give this a try. Yeah, Boromir is quite good though. He has this like banner that's really strong, and he buffs up all the Ministry of Troopers and all that. So thank you guys for joining. Sorry about the delay. You know, nothing in Total War can be easy. It just always has to be suffering. You know, this is just the nature of the beast. Okay, so gonna see if this helps. Meanwhile, we will know in the future. We will know in the future. Somebody in chat says blame Tim the Wilder. All right, so let's go ahead and delete you, and that should be fine. Score reported. All right, outstanding. So let's see if this works. Yeah, I hope it's not the case. We're gonna see if it lets me advance it this time though. I think it's because we added someone late, and it kind of screwed up. Because like when you generate the tournament, it like preemptively is like setting up the grid, and I think it might have screwed that up. So let's see if this works now. Okay, so refreshing. What's an example of a hero that's bad in Lord of the Rings? Usually it's just overpriced heroes. You know who's actually pretty good in the tabletop game is freaking Gollum. Gollum is a beast. Okay. Yeah, that worked. That worked here. Okay. So it was the late ad. Oh, man. So we're all good. Next round has started. So now we can get it going again. All right. All right. So one more announcement here. We now know Dev will fix it. All right. So we're all set. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it, man, if you're here. Thank you so much. And next round has started. Next round has started. I wasn't going to be... Sounds good, man. Appreciate you. Cool. So the next round is live, and we'll fix it. Looks good. And outstanding. Okay. And we're all set. Good luck, have fun to everyone. The new user probably didn't have a corresponding sign up. He didn't. Okay. So we have an undefeated Nurgle. Oh my god, that's funny. That's really funny. Hey, so we had a couple donations during that. Let's see. Sorry guys, I missed it. He said, I'd like a skirmish cav wagon for the Empire with flamethrowers. Dude, that'd be so sweet. And Max Ben Jim says, I love the variety of content and strength of the channel recently with all the games. Happy to keep supporting. Hey, thank you, man. We got to play some company soon. So now we are going to do, let's cast one of Kark's games. So let me message him. Lobby, please. I will cast your game. All right, so setting up the next lobby. We're going to do Hitman Hippo versus Kark, which should be quite a bit of fun. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, man. Just wrapping it up here, doing the admin stuff here. We got our lobby, and we are going to be getting into the next game right away. Sorry about the delay. Should be a little bit quicker from here on out. And where are we at? So join with code. There it is. The Gates of Ekrond is the next map, and this Trixie Hobbitses does have a different password. Oh, is it another Kislev game? Oh, it looks like we have another Kislev game. All right, well, he won with the Kislev in the first round. We'll see if the underdogs can get it. Let's do it to it, man. Let's have some fun. Okay, outstanding. Thank you, guys. Has anyone claimed Green Olgor? No, nobody has. So if you guys haven't seen this section on Total Tavern, it's a really fun system we have. So let me show you real quick. We have the tournament avatar bounties, so you can go up here. And these are bounties that can be achieved in tournaments. And if you achieve them, you get a custom avatar, right? So Dog Person won a semifinal/final match with Kazrak. So he unlocked a custom Kazrak avatar. Magistrate of Cathay got unlocked, I believe, by Hitman Hippo today. Yeah, the video went up for that today. So Hitman Hippo unlocked winning a semifinal tournament match with Yeah, with the Magistrate, which is crazy. We also had the Wild Rider unlock, so Serkia, our resident Wood Elf player, did unlock that as well, winning a final match with 4 Wild Riders, dude. Hey, T-Rex push-ups! The Dark Mechanicum scrap code is in the system. Flee the city. Yes, yes. We got it squared away. We're all good. Thank you so much, T-Rex. And Alex, I played 6th edition Empire. My buddy loved it, but wasn't a huge fan of some of the models, so he made a 3 2,000-point dwarf armies, a Greenskin army, and a Dark Elf army out of Lord of the Rings dwarf. Yeah, they look good. Those models are still decent. Dude, thank you, man. I thought about doing the same thing, too. So these are bounties. And if you guys have suggestions for these, if you type them in chat, I'll probably forget. But if you leave them as a comment on the video afterwards, like complete, like difficult to accomplish meme build type things, we can totally add those in. So we got Kislev versus Dark Elves here. I actually am quite eager to see this matchup. Kark is a very, very strong player, but so is Hitman Hippo. So this is going to be fun. We need some Nurgle. I don't know who is playing Nurgle tonight. Acers. I don't know who else is playing Nurgle. We'll have to see. Okay, so we're just going to do one last admin thing while we progress. How you guys doing, man? You guys doing good? It's been a while since we've had a Total War stream, huh? It's been a couple weeks. Thank you guys all for joining. It's always fun to hang out. And let's go ahead and update this. Change that. I would have played Nurgle tonight. Just suffered. Just like Nurgle's like the classic submarine faction. You're like, if you play a good player early, you're guaranteed to lose, and then you just like climb your way back up. Yeah, that's how the old Nurgle plays. Malice is already good though, Jim. That's the problem with like Malice isn't a meme. Can't wait for Kislev to get Pit of Shades here. It could 100% happen. Could 100% happen. Yeah, we'll see. It's fun though. Dark Elves here. It'd be pretty rad to see some like Harganeth Executioners or something like heavy metal like that. That would be very fun. All right, looks like that's saved and we're good. All right. Cool and cool. So the players are making the armies. I got 45 minutes in this round, starting at whenever I pass the round. I don't know when that is, but we could check. Hey, Mr. Turin, I haven't seen you live in a while. It's been a couple days. We were streaming a lot of Company of Heroes, which I am having so much fun with that game. Having so much fun with that game. It's just nice having dedicated servers, you know, like, oh man, I wish we could get that from CA, man. That would be so nice. Imagine if we could play multiplayer with no lag. Like the potential for like team games and like different style events like would be limitless for sure. Yeah, I'm excited for Chaos Dwarves. I really am. They've always been an army that's really kind of piqued my interest in Warhammer Fantasy. I hope they get a tabletop army too. What's going to happen probably is Chaos Dwarves have kind of been hinted at for Age of Sigmar, so they're probably going to make a Chaos Dwarf army for Age of Sigmar that can also be put on square bases and just be played in Fantasy. That would be my guess, that that's what's going to happen. Yeah, that would be my guess. I have a Discord-related question. I'm in Discord to catch your streams, but I'm really not someone that plays in tournaments, but I get pinged like once or twice per day for one. Yeah, we could set up a different system for that. Thanks for the feedback. But, you know, obviously the Discord's like one of the primary purposes is for running tournaments, so yeah, it's Trixie. It's Trixie Hobbitses. I'll see if we can maybe do a different role for like tournament announcements or something. Yeah, we'll have to see. What will you do? Will you do Warhammer 3 more? Yeah, for sure. We'll get back to doing more frequent streams because we're going to be starting a new Total Tavern seasons as well. So that will be kind of like refreshing everything. And I really, really, really hope Creative Assembly does some balancing on Slaanesh. I really do. Any tips on breaking into Company of Heroes 3 multiplayer without getting too discouraged? It's, you know, playing team games is a good way to just kind of like casually get that experience. But yeah, it's a hard game. There's people who have been playing that series for a long time. It's kind of the same thing. Like if you took a top Company of Heroes 3 player and had them come and, you know, try and play Total War, Warhammer at a competitive level, it'd be pretty discouraging, I would imagine, playing against these top players who've been playing for years. But I mean, yeah, just get in there and, you know, don't take it too seriously, just have fun. The match you uploaded with the top co-players was really good. Yeah, I have another one coming up with those another 2 top players as well. If we have any mods in chat that could drop a link to Discord, that'd be great. I myself can drop one if nobody's around. Oh, Ice Guard. Okay, I'm glad we watched this game. It is a Kislev Enjoyer one. Is it possible to set up our own multiplayer server? No, it's not. Because CA would have to integrate it with their game, I think, somehow. So yeah, it wouldn't work. I think we could do a LAN event though, like if we really wanted to. But then like there's that expense of you know, bringing a lot of like big companies. Like when you guys see these huge like Age of Empires tournaments, like that have like $50,000 prizes, it's not the hosts who are getting most of that money. I mean, they might contribute some via sponsors, but it's usually the company. Like Microsoft will, you know, give like 50 grand to a big tournament, right? So like, we don't really get that kind of support from CA and Sega. You know, obviously it's not like as much of a multiplayer game. It's not like designed with that intent. But yeah, no, it's I hope to be able to raise some decent money for some of the upcoming events. There's some fun stuff on the horizon for sure. Yeah, somebody in chat saying you can mute specific channels in Discord so you don't get paid. So you could just mute the tournament announcement ones. All right, guys, I'm very excited for this. We got Little Grom. Little Grom is pretty good. It can shoot downtown against like Scourge Runners and Cold Knights, all that sort of good stuff. We got an Ice Witch with Blizzard and Hailstorm, so just AoE punishment abilities. Front line for the Hitman Hippo is going to be Zargard, and looks like in the back we do have Armored Kossars. And one of our bounties on Total Tavern actually is if you can win a tournament with Kislev, a single faction tournament, which is what this is, you actually get a custom avatar as well, which is very, very fun. Ice Guard Glaives in the back, it looks like we got 2 of them. Ice Guard Glaives are pretty badass. I don't know about their applications against Dark Elves. I suppose if they try and shut them down with Dark Riders, they don't really care that much. They also have Halberds, so they can fight characters like Malekith, and yeah, I'm really, really eager to see how they do. Now, looking over here at the forces of the Dark Elves, it's going to be Kark. I believe he's currently our number 2 player in the leaderboard. Very, very strong. He's going to be coming in with Blackheart Corsairs, which, you know, are a decent infantry unit. They can trade pretty evenly with a lot of the Kislev baseline troopers. They will lose the Zargard, obviously, but they're just very, very cost-effective. On top of that, we do have Master and Master, so the Master of Puppets on the way. Shades also cruising up. Shades I do like as a niche kind of like anti-armor ambush pick. You can creep up, you can shoot against cav units. What kind of melee prowess did he bring? He did not bring dual weapons, nor did he bring the great weapons. One Bolt Thrower in the back. Bolt Thrower is going to be trying to take down Little Grom, but Little Groms do have a lot of HP, so it's going to take one Bolt Thrower more or less the entire battle to get there. So yeah, I think using the Ice Guard as like a tech against Malekith to kind of like frostbite him and fight him in melee, we'll have to see. Kislev going to be going for the 1 lane strategy. So on this map, we do obviously have the lane here. So we have objectives 1 and 2. We have objective 3. And you know, usually when you're playing like shooting factions, I am more of the opinion that playing 2 and 1 is the better way. You just kind of like slow push up and just you know, try and keep that lane of shooting where you have like a tight formation. It's a little bit difficult to be flanked, and you can get the job done. Whereas if you're playing like, you know, more, I suppose more of like a sturdy faction like Horn or something, like, or Nurgle, sending like a single Chaos Warrior over to the side point or even a Nurgling seems a little bit more viable here than like formation-based armies. So, are the Ice Guard going to start shooting at Malekith? Kark is creeping up with his Shades. He's going to be throwing some big shade for sure, but Ice Guard should be able to punish Shades like really hardcore if they're able to kind of see them creeping up. Obviously, Kark knows that the Ice Guard are here, and we do see Little Grom shooting. Little Grom trying to snipe the Bolt Thrower, and actually does get a direct hit, but not before the Zargard get hammered. And Hitman Hippo is going to be responding to the Shades. Shades going to be turning and running. And now the forces of Kislev are going to be running up, while we do get a Patriarch coming out, as well as some Kosovo Dervishes. All right. Breath Attack, that was a good one. Good Breath Attack there from Malekith. It looks like Little Grom's going to be turning and blasting at Malekith there, but does miss him. Ice Guard trying to form ranks and get some shots, but Kark is ambushing from all angles. Classic Dark Hill play, as the forces of Kislev continue to press up under fire. Now, obviously, Kark going to be coming out to a bit of an early advantage. We do see some sleds looking like maybe they want to charge in there, but they do pull back at the last second. Now we're going to see a Snow Leopard summon coming out, so the Ice Witch is able to summon a Snow Leopard, and yeah, the Snow Leopard is going to be hunting that sled down. This is a good play. You just kind of throw it away. It's a summon, and it will keep that chariot occupied for quite some time. Front line's going to be clashing soon. Good play with the Shades. Shades are just such a badass unit. They're really able to put some big hurt on the Zargard. Zargard definitely want to get in combat, and the Ice Guard Glaives need to get up and start shooting. They need to be killing these Shades and or putting pressure on Malekith. So Kossars now shooting into the Shade units. Little Grom getting hammered, but Little Grom can be healed by a Patriarch. You just move up next to it and use Salak's Lullaby, and it should be pretty good. Looks like there's going to be a big AoE going down right here, and this could be an early throw here if he does lose his Ice Witch. The Ice Witch actually gets trapped in a bunch of Dread Spears, and Malekith lands to kill the Snow Leopard. Now, it's a good thing Malekith didn't go after the Ice Witch right away, because she is in some serious danger. There's also 2 Dark Elf Masters here, so yeah, this could be a throw. I mean, if the Ice Witch goes down this early to the 2 Dark Elf characters, that's probably going to be game blouses. I mean, it's a bear character. It has some really good spells. Looks like there's going to be some witchcraft going down, and the Shades do get beaten up a little bit, or at least I think he pulled them back. Yeah, man, the Ice Witch is down already. Malekith and the Double Master is able to get the Karate Chop. And where are those bear sleds at, too? I feel like a couple bear sleds would be very, very nice here at dealing with all these Dark Elf infantry. But overall, this is going to be a massive advantage for Kark. I mean, he's ahead 4,000 value to about 1,700, so it's looking like it's going to be a pretty decisive fight. Ice Guard in the back still putting some okay firepower in, but honestly shooting into the armored Blackheart Corsairs doesn't really feel that good for them. And the Ice Witch there getting wrecked is going to feel really, really bad. And it looks like Kark was able to save his Shades. He pulled them back. We'll be moving them back in and trying to creep and shoot these guys out of the range of these Ice Guard. As far as reinforcements, we do have some more Armored Kossars coming in and some more Kosovo Dervishes looking to go play the side objective maybe, but honestly, I don't see any way this game is a comeback for Kislev. And, you know, it can happen. Just like in, other RTS games, if you lose a big early engagement, you know, like, let's say you're playing Warcraft 3, you have your Blade Master, you have some grunts, and the Blade Master dies and you lose a grunt, you're probably going to lose the game against an equally skilled player, right? Same thing goes in Company of Heroes. Lose like 2 squads right out of the gates, they're going to be so far behind, it's going to come back, Age of Empires, whatever. It's just the nature of the RTS game. And the Ice Witch did get karate chopped, and now we see Cold One Knights moving in. So Cold One Knights are going to be the hammer that finishes this. We get more Bleak Swords moving up to fight. The one thing that's doing pretty well for Kislev are the Zargard. Zargard are absolute beasts. The Ice Guard Glaives are still shooting too. I mean, they're still functional, but yeah, I mean, shooting into silver shielded Dark Elf chaff units is not their idea of an ideal vacation. Is there any way that Hitman Hippo can come back? There would have to be a colossal blunder. Like, if Malekith got thrown in the trash somehow, he just, dove in and died to some really ridiculous engagement, maybe so. And here you can see the Dervishes, they want this, but it's not going to happen. Dreadspear's just kind of sitting here, so they're not going to be able to kind of get that objective there. And on the other side, we see the Dark Elves, Crows of Cain, Scourge-Runner Chariots moving up. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to see an early tap here. I wouldn't be surprised looking right now. It is a 2-to-1 cap for the Dark Elves, but it's only a matter of time before Malekith just bullies so hard. But you can see the Ice Guard Glaives doing a good job despite being damaged and, really, really pinned down. They are going to be able to get some decent halberd attacks, and you can see Malekith is losing some HP, but Shades have gotten in range here. We have chaff units on top of the Ice Guard Glaives. Really good Soul Stealer going down. It nails the Patriarch and pretty much all the good value Kislev units that are still left in this battle. On the other side, we do have the Kosovo Dervishes screaming across and some guns up in the high ground, Armored Kossars, trying to shoot Malekith, which is very cute, but now they're going to get just pinned down by these Crows of Cain. And Crows of Cain do regenerate, or it's healing. I don't believe they're able to kind of like actually resurrect models or anything like that, but they do have that passive healing effect. Let's take a look at what the variable is. It's 0.2, which is the really good healing. So yeah, like honestly, Kossars do not have good damage output, and the Crows of Cain would probably, they might even be able to win that fight. It's hard to say, it would be a close one. Crows of Cain do lack armor piercing. But looking here, you can see the Dark Elves are moving up and really just pushing everything back. Absolutely pinned. And there's no way Kislev wins this. It's GG. I mean, it's 9,300 to 4.5. That is a huge discrepancy. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it is safe to say that this is going to be game over as the Witch King descends from the skies. Going to be banishing Little Grom to the Shadow Realm. Let's give you guys some, at least some, even though the battle's over, we can give you some cool cinematic shots. Nice breath attack there from the dragon. Going to be putting some hurt on the Little Grom. Noxious gas lowers its reload skill, which is kind of a fun little niche thing. It doesn't, I suppose, have its applications. Yeah, the Kislev army, I mean, if army losses could exist in Dom, they would certainly be here right now. The Ice Witch is back out, and Kislev leadership is on the table. But yeah, no, this is over. Malekith's going to be able to just absolutely bully that Ice Witch. And that the Ice Witch was like a good choice. Like, her magic would have been super useful at clearing out Dark Elf infantry, just methodically using the Blizzard spells and the Tempest spells to kill the infantry blobs. And, taking out the Shades with a big Blizzard could have been super strong. But yeah, man, look at that. Little Grom goes down in the back. We do get a Snow Leopard coming in. Snow Leopard is a good choice against Malekith. If you could get like 2 of them out, they could do some nice work. This is a summon though, so it's going to be disappearing after a short period of time. Zargard and the Ice Witch trying to fight. Kark obviously, top tier tournament player here, not going to be getting caught too easily by those bombardment spells, as he does dodge most of those shots. And here we do have the Witch King continuing to do glorious, glorious combat here, guys. So yeah, no way they're going to come back. 11.5 to 5.5. Thank the Dark Gods. There's no comeback mechanic. That was one of the worst things. Oh my god, you guys remember the wretched comeback mechanic when we had that in the early days? That was just such a terrible. God, it's like, well, this guy got outplayed and is losing, so let's give him a chance to just like win a game he doesn't deserve to win. That was awful. Is there a reason they got rid of army losses in Dom? Domination is supposed to be like an escalations type battle where you have a smaller army that escalates into a bigger fight as you progress over the course of the game. And there are times in Domination where both players are, yeah, like I don't really know why. I mean, I'm trying to think of a situation in which like they got like army losses would be an issue. Yeah, something to think about for sure. Something to think about. So the Ice Witch is already running for the shadows. We do see some Kosovite dervishes coming in as Hitman Hippo fights valiantly, but Kark does have the triple cap right now, and the points are going to be going up 3 per second, so that's going to be very, very quick. And yeah, honestly, if I were Hitman Hippo here, I would probably just tap out. So I would probably just tap out. This was a very, very one-sided game after the Lord got karate chopped. GG, well played. Dark Elves claim victory. Kark is going to be advancing to 2-0 in today's tournament. So we'll take a look at the breakdown of all the leaderboard right now and see who our contenders are. So in the next match, guys, I'll make sure to cast a matchup which you haven't seen. I know we got to see Kislev lose twice tonight, which is always fun. So we'll cast something different. Sadly, no Flying Taco tonight either. Would have been fun to see his ogres make a comeback here. Okay, so let's look here. How are the tournaments looking? Outstanding. And there we go. All right, so let's go to Total Tavern, see how the progress is in the round. And let's look. We only had like an hour's notice tonight. We got some pretty good signups. Looks like a lot of people are still playing. That was a pretty quick match, obviously, and was also fairly one-sided. So they might need a hot minute. Looks like one finished, and the rest are going to be going down right now as well. All right, very cool. Those masters were on foot. Actually, they were foot masters. It's okay, darling. They'll be back. They'll get the DLC with some Swamp Witch, and they'll be cackling. Don't you worry. Okay. So let's look at the value. How'd the Ice Guard do? The Ice Guard actually were probably some of the only performers in the army, considering that everything else just kind of got shut down super hard. Decent value with that Blizzard, 1,300 on the Bear Lady. Yeah, she just got overextended and just got isolated, and that was too much to come back from. It was a good attempt by Hitman Hippo, but losing an expensive caster lord like that early is going to be such a disaster. Such a disaster. The next faction war, I'm scheming that right now. Yes. Soon. I'm not sure when, but soon. Yeah, but the double masters were on foot. 700, 500 on that one. Shade's got 13. Malekith carried as usual, 3,500. I mean, Soul Stealers on expensive Kislev units, as well as Dragon Breaths and, gooning characters. It's going to be very strong. And yeah, mostly just infantry. Cold Knights are also pretty good against Kislev. I'm surprised he didn't have more of those. He had 2. That's enough. Yeah, 2 of those is probably enough. I don't think you need too many more than that. Yeah, so let's refresh this and see. And outstanding. So yeah, scores are getting reported, and we will have a little bit of time. I wonder if I would have time for a game. Probably not. Yeah, Dom games can go relatively long. They can go pretty long for sure. Okay, perfect. So let's back out of this one. I believe all the other games are in action, so we are probably... yeah, it looks like these are just the games that finished just now. We can go look at some army stuff as well. By the way, if you guys want like army builds for matchups too, I can do that right now also. So if you guys are like trying to like learn a matchup, I've been playing this game long enough that I could probably set up a match for or army list for you guys. Okay, just make the dreaded password here. Perfect. So let me know what you guys want to see. We got some time. I have a replay of this coming up. This is a build I used against Demons of Chaos, which was really funny. You guys are gonna love that one. It was quite a masterpiece. Okay, it looks like stream's holding up there. Good, no drama. All right, cool. But yeah, for when the Chaos Dwarves come out, we're going to be having before they come out, we'll be having the season final because I want the season final to be played on the season in which it took place. So that will probably be sooner than you would think, sometime in the next few weeks. I don't know when, but it'll be top 16. So if you go to Total Tavern, look at the top 16. We'll be the players obviously will be getting invites from top to bottom, and yeah, we'll go from there. You want Empire versus all right, so Tomb Kings versus Warriors of Chaos. Okay, there's a couple options there. So we could do Empire versus Lizards. So I actually have a build save for that still. I might. Let's see here. I have Empire build saved, but that's pretty much it. Empire versus Lizardmen. I have this one. This is something I had used before. So it's Franz and a Jade Wizard with Dwellers and Earth or Regrowth and Earthblood. We got triple wagons to deal with Sars and Skink Spam. We have the Sunmaker and we have Swordsman as well. A single Demogryph Knight, a couple heavy cav. We have some grenade launchers, some more state troopers. This is a kind of an old build. This is from like Ometa of the time of past, but this is more or less a build I had used to pretty good success. Yeah, you can also use Boris and then switch the caster, and you would probably be fine. You'd probably be fine. So Tomb Kings into Warriors of Chaos is another one that was suggested. So if we look at that, Tomb Kings versus Warriors of Chaos, I would probably recommend, I mean, there's a couple ways to play Tomb Kings. Archeon is your biggest problem. He is just such a bully. So you got to be really, really careful because he just chases you around. But using the Resurrect spam is still pretty good. You could go, if you want to do that playstyle, you bring Katep with Lichstaff, okay, on horse. And his entire job is going to be running away from Archeon, like the entire game. You're spamming these 3 cheap spells, okay? And then it increases the cooldown on like Burning Heads and Spirit Leeches. And yeah, you have to put them on. You can get rid of the Curse. You need Restless Dead. My Will Be Done, get rid of that. And you can get rid of Sandstorm too, if you're really trying to be like hyper competitive. So honestly, I'm a big enjoyer of Nehekar Warriors. I think they're pretty decent. So probably like a battle line of a couple of those. And just basic skeletons to like chaff it down. You need something to deal with some mass, so I'd probably throw like Eyes of the Desert in there to get some anti-large. Hellstriders are a pain, but your basic cab do okay into them. They don't do terribly, so get a couple of these guys. And you could go Tomb Guard, but Burning Head is pretty decent. Probably want to throw some Kepler Guard action in there. So it's the initial like playstyle is just like a big swarming like this. Ushabti Great Bows. We could probably cut you in the starting army and then summon you in. The thing is, like, going with Kepler Guard is it does... Yeah, you could go, like, even double Ushabti Great Bow like this. I don't hate that. And then double Sepulchral Stalker. We need to find 60 gold somewhere, though. How can we do this? Arcane Conduit's pretty nice. Lichstaff is nice. So probably cut one of you guys and then just get, like, a Skeleton Spear. Yeah, so an opening build like this. And then you could just throw in, like, you know, whatever. Zarud, Sandstorm, Osirians if you want an extra spell. I think like, as your starting army, this isn't bad. So you have the Ushabti Greatbow to pound targets. You have Sepulchral Stalkers with Nehekar Horsemen to defend your backfield. Then from here, you're going to want some more infantry probably. Chaos, do they usually bring? I mean, they could bring Warriors, which are a little bit of a problem. As such, I'd probably mix in 1 Tomb Scorpion. I think that would, I think the 1 Tomb Scorpion as like a Vanguard tech could be nice. You can also do Screaming Skull Catapults against Chaos. It's totally viable. You just have to be able to defend them against Hellstriders, but personally, I think the double Ushabti Greatbow, double Sepulchral Stalker build is going to be good. But Archeon is a big pain in the butt. He is an absolute raid boss. He pretty much kills anything you throw at him. You could throw in 1 Necropolis Knight Halberd as like a hard sweeper unit, so they have high armor, so they can fight Hellstriders, and they could also go after Archeon and like try and tie him down somewhere. But we're going to want to, let me turn on unit caps. Perfect. And we're going to want to throw some more of those guys in. Some basic Tomb Guard most likely, and I don't hate the tech of like a single Ushabti unit. So let's throw like an Ushabti unit in and a Spear unit. So this, the distribution of funds is a little bit weird. I would like to clean that up a little bit if we can. So we can cut you guys, and could get King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion to just hold an objective, and a single Carrion just to chase Marauder Horsemen probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So this build looks like it would be viable. It's still not a good matchup. It's definitely Warriors of Chaos favored, but I would say that this is like the way you want to go. All right, next question. Going back up here. Okay, I see some Nurgle versus Vampire counts. Nurgle into VC. Why are you guys like this? Why do you want that? Do you plan another 2v2 tournament? Yeah, I'll do another one soon. Any updates on the potential podcast? Yeah, sometime in the next month or two, I would say. 100%. The wife and I are just busy with a lot of stuff, and currently we're looking to like move like soonish. So we're kind of like, there's a lot of other things on our mind right now, but it will happen 100%. New maps if you want to see it in between matches. Okay, yeah, we can take a look at the new maps. Bob, what are the new maps? What do you think about Wagon ROR versus Vampire counts? I don't recommend it. If you're going to be playing Empire versus Vampire counts, so my high school claim to fame was defeating Moffat in a tournament. So Moffat was Voidlaw's evil clone. It's the same person, but you know, Voidlaw is widely considered to be one of the stronger Vampire count players of all time, probably. And I was able to defeat him in a tournament with Empire using this build. So basically, we used a Luminarch and 3 wagons, and he just came in with the Dragon Lord, and we just like netted it, sniped it, and then just methodically picked apart the rest of the army. It worked pretty well. Yeah, this is a very strong build. You would need to adjust the funds because I believe this was an old build. So you could just cut you know, Power Stone, whatever. But you take the Blasting Scroll, and that gives you net, shoot with Luminarch, blast with this, and then you use the Shem's Burning Gaze. And you can also get another net from the Luminarch. And the wagons are really, really good as well. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, it's great. How do you feel about the way GW introduced... I don't really know. Yeah, you know, I haven't followed that much. The Leagues of Votann, they look cool. Kind of like Space Dwarves. No complaints. Yeah, I have no complaints there. All right, so somebody wanted Empire vs. Dwarves. Now, this is a cursed matchup. But basically, the only way to win this one is artillery spam. So, and you need to be on a map like Black Ark. So for me, I would do something like this. So we get you. You get Boris Todbringer on a Griffin because he's pretty independent. And he just kind of heals and can route things that overextend into your lines. Yeah, that build's pretty good. And then you just bring a cheap Empire Lord. There's other builds against Vampire counts, though. There's other builds, and that build is pretty micro-intensive. So against Dwarves, man, it is a cursed matchup, guys. As far as casters go, there's not really that many great choices. Because the Dwarves are just going to go with, like, 20 sack against you. So probably, like, this Empire versus Dwarves. Let me just check, make sure I'm not, like, missing the next round being ready to go to. So refreshing. I'm concerned it's just telling us Wagons and Luminarchs are good as well. No, Wagons are good. Okay, we have one game finishing, and then we're going to be starting. So this is good. We get, like, a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a lesson time here. So Spears, you could just go Swordsman here. Like so. And then you can get these silver bullets. That would be my opening army. And then I would get the Sterling's Revenge. Empire Knights for days. Zentler's Reichsguard. And yeah, basically grenade launchers also against dwarves are not bad. Having like Sigmar's Sons, they're so vulnerable against blasting charges though. It sucks so bad. It sucks really bad. Knights of the Blazing Sun, not really that good of a choice. But this would be your starting army here, okay? So you will pretty much be guaranteed to win the artillery duel. Wait, Moffat was Void Laws all this time? Yeah, he was. Yeah. And then you can also mix in like Empire Captains. Like cheap Empire Captains are cool because they give you like for 350 you get really stalwart capture weight that's shielded. You can also just go like really wide with handgunners. You can mix in a couple of them against the dwarves to just kind of slow push up. And then we just get some more state troopers probably. Yeah, I think probably 2 of those is enough. And let's get some state troopers and some state troopers. So this would be like a build against dwarves that would be viable. Empire Knights are just cheaper. And like nothing's going to do a lot of damage against the dwarves anyways. So you just want to bring something to tie them down. So Empire Knights are better there. The only reason you bring Zentler's Reichsguard is because they have Vanguard deployment. So you can get them at a pinch. Yeah. But this is an army. I have beaten dwarf players before with this, like something like this. And I'm not talking bad dwarf players. I'm talking like top 16 player in the world. Like I've beaten with this kind of play style. You know, Blazing Sun is not what you want here. They do a little more damage, but they have poor armor piercing, and their melee defense is so bad at 26 that in a grind versus like a dwarven miner or even a dwarf warrior, they're going to hurt. Whereas the Empire Knights are just cheaper. They have more armor and better melee defense. Yeah. All right, so let's see here. Perfect. And yep, looks like everybody's ready. All right, so let's advance it, guys. Let's advance this round. And did somebody drop out? Somebody might have dropped out. I'm not sure. Okay. Advancing this. Karl Franz versus Volkmar and Nogi. Who wins? Probably Franz just because he's younger. Volkmar is like much older. All right. Looks like the matches are up. Let's see which one you want to cast. Next round is live. And next round is live. Look, have fun. All right, guys, so we're going to be jumping into our next game. I think Franz wins. He's just young, and that is a big variable. Age is a huge factor, right? Like Volkmar's knees are probably shot from years of just being like like knee bars and all these things. All right. So, what game do we want to cast now? Let's see who has the Sandwich and Serkia. Let's see what they're playing. Okay. I think they're battling each other. Are they? Yeah, they are. Lobby info, please. And let's go ahead and get Serkia. Outstanding. Okay. Can I stall you for 3 minutes? Just give me lobby info. Okay, so they're going to get it. All right, so we have our next match, and let's see what the matchup is actually going to be. I'm going to go check the, because I don't want to cast factions we've already seen. So looking around. All right, what's it going to be? So I assume a Wood Elf game. What did Sandwich pick? So scrolling up here, I'm looking for Sandwich to try and see what he picked in the single faction section. B-Spin. Oh yeah, Beastmen versus something. Okay, this is starting to get exciting here. And I don't see what Serki. I assume it's gonna be Wood Elves. He's like the biggest Wood Elf enjoyer ever. Yeah, so we'll see. Yep. This will be fun. All right, so we got Beastmen versus Wood Elves. So let's get out. Let's join that lobby, and the players will be getting it going quite soon. The Halls of Karak Doom, and we'll look at the new maps as well, Bob. We're gonna take a look at those at the end of the stream. Got it from. Okay. So we got a Wood Elf versus Beastmen match, and it happens to be underground. The mustache is a variable too. That's true. That's true. If you guys have ever done like jujitsu or grappling, like if you're grappling with somebody who has like a huge beard and mustache, and they're like, you know, you get really close quarters, and it can like rub on your face and have like sweat in it. There is a psychological, you know, variable to that. Yeah. Youthful noble versus venerable mustache. Malekith versus Grombrindle and a Gi. Are we talking like magic not being allowed to be used? Because if we're talking like Malekith versus Grombrindle in a grappling match, Grombrindle would absolutely annihilate Malekith. Grombrindle would straight up just like smother him, you know? It'd be like watching one of those like wrestler MMA fighters from Dagestan just holding their opponents down and just like beating them for like 10 rounds. That would be Grombrindle versus Malekith. Yeah, like dwarves are freakishly strong in the Warhammer universe. They like can literally like pick up a cart that's being pulled and throw it. They're super strong. Grombrindle would settle many grudges for sure. Yeah, like elves aren't like known for their like insane physical strength, and dwarves are. It's not really a fair contest for them. If we're talking like an archery contest or something, sure, that's one thing. But yeah, no. Hey, Phoenix, welcome. Yes, we're in round 3 of tonight's tournament. It's a Swiss tournament, so players play 4 rounds no matter what, unless they want to drop, and then they play one faction of their choosing. So we have, it's not Bretonnia, yeah, it's Wood Elves versus Beastmen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. That's going to go down. This patch should have fixed the lighting issue. Shout out to Wacka. Yeah, hell yeah. Looks like we got it. Good timing. Crossbeard to face. Oh my god. Dwarves are super strong and their center of mass is so low they will knock. Yeah, exactly. Dwarves are just jacked in Warhammer. I mean, dwarves are pretty strong in the Tolkien universe too, but I feel like in Warhammer it's another thing. Like when you hear about the feats of strength that dwarves have, it's a whole different beast. Like there's a scene in one of the Gotrek and Felix books. It's a short story where Gotrek, he literally Princess Leia's a chimera. He's fighting like a giant manticore type beast, and he jumps on its back with like a chain and literally like Jabba the Hutt's that thing. He like chokes it out, and he's just like literally in chains fighting this thing. He's agile, he's strong, and just like, yeah, dwarves are no joke in Warhammer. I think Warhammer dwarves are probably stronger than Tolkien dwarves from the depictions I've seen. Yeah, Matt, sometimes I do. If they're on a card, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it really gets wild. It really gets wild. Phoenix Blade made you jump out of your seat. Sorry about that. So Beastmen vs. Wood Elves here is going to be the matchup. And it's a really fun one. A super, super fast-paced, high-micro matchup. I always felt like it was pretty even. Let's go look, actually. We have the data. We have the power. So let's go to the stats and see what it's going to look like. So where are you at? Looking at Beastmen and pulling up the stats. So Beastmen have a 51% win rate. Like here, I was actually having this discussion with someone before the stream about like balancing. I feel that anybody who is 60% or higher on win rates needs nerfs. Anybody who is lower than 40%, you could arguably even say 45 needs to be looked at. Although that's weird that Tomb Kings are down here. Tomb Kings are still a great faction, but like I think High Elves, Tzeentch, Kislev, and Nurgle probably need a little bit of love. And then on the top side, you need to nerf Slaanesh and Vampire counts. Like I think like if you're 60 or higher percent, you need to be nerfed, and if you're like, you know, less than 45%, I think that's kind of a healthy way to look at it. But Wood Elves, where are they sitting at? Are they doing good? No way. Where are the Wood Elves at? I'm looking for them. Soon we'll be adding the dreaded Chaos Dwarves to this, which will be fun. Am I just blind? Okay, here they are. Wood Elves are at 48%. That's not bad. That's good. Beastmen, look at this, guys. A 50-50 matchup. A 50-50 matchup. Okay, that's cool. So it looks like it's an even one. No excuses here. Yeah, dwarves are super strong. Yeah, no, 100%. I see some of you guys giving some comments on that as well. Yeah, like, you know, factions that are like, you know, I think like just those bottom, like Tzeentch, High Elves, Kislev, and Nurgle. They definitely need some love. Nurgle especially. Nurgle is just awful. They feel so awful to play. You just have such little agency on the battlefield, and you're not even that tanky. Like, there's factions that are arguably tankier than Nurgle, like Vampire Counts. Yeah. Slaanesh needs to be karate chopped. I just straight up banned Slaanesh in these single faction tournaments because it's not fair. Like, you can't ban them. There's no pick and ban system. So, like, I banned Vampire Counts and Slaanesh because they're just both overpowered in this, especially in this format. You know, Chaos Dwarves could suffer the problem of, like, of being, like, not their artillery being janky. But yeah, they definitely probably will have at least a couple of overpowered units right out of the way. Let the Nurglings feast. Yeah, Nurglings definitely don't get to feast very often. They just feast on L's. That's all they do. They feast on losses. Why do Forsaken see play but Demonettes don't? Forsaken have high armor. Forsaken have armor, I think it's like 85 or 90. Yeah. And that's a huge variable. That's a huge variable. Like, Demonettes are so lightly armored that if they take it... Like, I once had a game where I was playing against a Slaanesh player, and they brought Exalted Demonettes against me, okay? And I was using just, like, an absolutely crap house, like, Kosovo Dervish to cycle charge them, and I was actually killing them, like, effectively, with just cycle charging on shock cav, like, light shock cav units, and any sort of missile pressure. Whereas, like, Forsaken have, like, high armor, so at least if they're being shot, they can take it better. Despite having really poor melee defense as well. So I think that's why. All right, guys. Beastmen versus Wood Elves. Oh, it's the classic. We got Big Daddy Durthu. Going to be taking on Morkr the Shadowcave. Couple Minotaurs with shields, obviously ready for some of the Wood Elf missile play. And Durthu's going to be rolling up to get his big old cane and have some fun. This is going to be very fun, guys. Excited for this matchup. It's a classic Warhammer Fantasy matchup. Wood Elves versus Beastmen is one of the most iconic. I would say the other... So Wood Elves versus Beastmen is super iconic, but also Empire versus Wood Elves Empire versus Beastmen is very iconic as well. The Beastmen are always like raiding the Empire forests and, you know, attacking villages and things like that. Optimus Pine is here, man. The big angry tree. Let's go see what he's up to. So, for the forces of Serkia, playing under the name Nerexa, it really should have the same name. Be a little bit easier to keep track here. It's just going to be combat Durthu. So Durthu isn't going to be bringing any magic. He's just going to be a big terror-causing monster with the Sword of Daith, which is an AoE damage and armor debuff. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah, no magic on Durthu whatsoever. I would imagine there's going to be a caster summoned in, probably a caster of life, to make sure that Durthu is okay and also give you dwellers below. We'll have to see. So Eternal Guard in the front, backed up by Glade Guard with Hagbane tips. Beastmen aren't super armored. Their Minotaurs aren't armored like Khorne, so just bringing the poison arrows is probably going to be one of the better choices. You got a couple Spears and Glade Guard here and Dryads, and yeah, it's just kind of a classic Wood Elf style. Eternal Guard in the front line moving up, backed up by the Bows and the Glade Guard, and that is really how it's going to be going down. On the far side, we do have the Beastmen. Beastmen going to be rolling dirty. We do have Morkr the Shadowcave, a couple Minotaurs, which, though they're lightly armored, they still do have silver shield, so it's not like they're helpless against missiles, but still, they can be focused down by mass focus fire. In the back, we got Gore Herds, Morkr the Shadowcave, and a Brayshame and a Traderkin. I've had Beastmen mains tell me that if the Beastmen were a stronger faction, people would be calling for the nerf of Traderkin. Apparently, it's a really good spell. It does a ton of damage and is super cost-effective for only 11 wins of magic. So that's pretty much it for the Beastmen army, guys. It's just some cows and some more cows and some farm animals and all sorts of good stuff like this. No, it's not a new map. This is a map we've had for a while. This is the Halls of Carag Dûm. It's a very cool kind of dwarf-themed map. I like this one quite a bit. So they'll be on their way in soon, guys. And we do have a couple new maps, which I'll be showing you. If we have a little bit of time in between this round, Bob, if you're still here, maybe you could join with me and we could load in and just show people what the map looks like. So that could be pretty fun. Excited tree noises. Oh my god, did I forget that Durthu has Vanguard deployment? Oh my god, look at this. Durthu Vanguard deploying out of his deployment zone. How far up could he go? Could Durthu just be like right here? I have to like check that out. Okay, looks like he's going to be chilling right here though. He's ready to go. Beastmen are obviously an army with tons of Vanguard, but their baseline troops here are going to be deploying back. You can see here the Gore Herds do have Vanguard. Yeah, it looks like they are deploying out of their zone. Okay, so you can see there is kind of a line here that we just can't see where Durthu is lining up. So they'll be getting up on the points quickly. A lot of it's going to be the Beastmen or the Wood Elf focus fire. Are they going to be able to drag down the shielded Gore Herds in their numbers? I would wager we're going to see some sort of anti-infantry come out for the Wood Elves. I mean, Eternal Guard get wrecked pretty bad by Gore Herds in combat. They just don't have the damage output to really get through them. Granted, Eternal Guard do trade very well into the Minotaur, so that's something to kind of take into account. So assessing the map here, we have objectives 1, 2, and 3. So it's that classic kind of domination system where you have like one lane with 2 objectives and then a neutral contested one. One objective is closer to each player's spawn. You can see right here we do have this, and yeah, so that one's closer to them, this one's closer to them, and then we have like this neutral one right here. Yeah, I know you guys want the John Madden drawings. I know you're clamoring in the night for it. I actually had a stream, it must have been a month ago, where I did 2 of the drawings that you guys know we're famous for here, and the stream got age restricted for that. I'm like, there's literally like just like the most gruesome battle effects going on, and then that's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's pretty funny. But here we do have Durthu moving up. He's going to be going after the old gore herds. Are we going to be seeing an early Traderkin? Got to be careful. Traderkin is quite good. He could drop it on the 2 Glade Guard here, but he's got to make sure he's microing and dodging. And obviously, Sandwich, another top tier player, is going to be juking back and forth and making sure that doesn't go down. Okay, that's a good Traderkin. Ouch! It hits the Eternal Guard, it hits the Glade Guard, and it hits the Spellsinger. God, that spell is so good. And he responds with an Earthblood, which is going to be kind of countering the damage to an extent. The Earthblood is a cheaper spell. It only costs 8 Winds Magic, or 6. But you can see how good of a spell Traderkin is, right? Like, already half health on a Spellsinger, good damage against these guys, and yeah, what's not to like, right? So side objective is going to be taken. So that one will probably belong to the hardwood here. This map does have some nice terrain to prevent flanks. You can see the great Dwarven statues here, as the bows do advance up and start to put a little bit of focus fire on the gore herds. What's also nice on this map is they can kind of sweep up and around and support, so like the objectives are somewhat close together, so these bows can cover this objective too, despite being like a little bit more positioned on this side. So definitely some nice nice bonuses there for that. Eternal Guard just kind of chilling. Wood Elves got their 2-cap, man. It really is going to be on it is going to behoove the Beastmen to move up and cause some action. Yes, Jim, yeah, those ones more or less. All right, so Glade Guards, obviously showing why their range is really, really good. We got Sandwich trying to creep around with some Chaos Warhounds. He's got a little bit of a flanking opportunity, but if the Wood Elf player is paying attention, he can summon out a Glade Rider here and easily cut this off, and it would be pretty much non-existent threat. But it looks like he's going to be calling some Glade Riders across the map, and now the Bray Shaman's going to be getting in with the Chariot, maybe. The Bray Shaman and the Wild Hogs getting in there. Are they going for it? All right, here comes the Piggies getting into the Archers. Oh my god. I have always wanted a giant pet pig. I think that would just be the coolest thing. Pigs are such cool animals. But the Bray Shaman getting some nice charges. Looks like there's going to be some Wood Elf Cavalry trying to intercept him, which is going to be baiting into a Traderkin. Here we do get some Centaurs battling Dryads. Dryads actually will win that fight and sustain combat pretty decisively if they decide to stay and fight. And the Bray Shaman has been surrounded by the Glade Riders, but it looks like they're pulling back here. And where is Durthu? So Durthu's on the other side, trying to take Morker down, and Morker is not an easy one. But yeah, Durthu can definitely kill him, but it's going to take some time. So Big Daddy Durthu going to be trying to claw Morker. He does get a nice attack there, and yeah, I mean, he can kill him. It's going to force Sandwich to probably run for a large portion of the battle here, as Durthu does try and push back the Destroyers of Drakwold. Now, Minotaurs on their way in, so the Bulls on parade are here, and the Eternal Guard are starting to buckle under the pressure of the Gore Herds and Minotaurs. Same thing going here. Gore Herds into the Eternal Guard is going to be very favorable, but on the flank, it looks like it's an okay fight for the Wood Elves, as they do get some Eternal Guard battling the Butchers of Kalkengard, which is quite cost-effective, and looks like on the far side as well, we have a Centaur versus a Glade Rider fight. So trading is pretty even. Both sides doing quite well against one another. We got Treekin on the way in. Treekin are an amazing unit. I think Treekin are your best answer against like Ungor Herd spam. They do very, very good there. Here we got some Centaurs being chased back, and just absolute chaos all over the battlefield, as we do see a little bit of penetration coming in here as the Blackhorn Ravagers do find a way into the backfield. Some of the archers being shut down, but an awakening of the wood going down. Very, very nice. Going to be slowing down the Blackhorn's Ravagers by 45%, allowing the Wood Elf archers to create some separation, but Sandwich comes in with a very, very nice weave. He finds his way in with the Chaos Warhounds, and he pushes on top of the archers, shutting down pretty much all the missiles here. But will the Treekin be able to come in and kind of stabilize that battle? We'll have to see. On this side, it looks like absolute anarchy. Minotaurs running everywhere. Chaos Spawn from Morker. Both of them have been brought out, and it looks like Durthu has pretty much given up his chase. He was chasing Morker, but I can tell you from experience, trying to chase Morker is just so awful. He gets knocked over instead of taking damage. I really wish CA would like make it so like instead of like the damage is more consistent with like monsters fighting. It's just so janky sometimes, but you know, that's a wish for another day. This objective looks to have been won by the Wood Elves. We do see the last of the Beastmen forces being routed. The Bray Shaman here is actually surrounded by Spears and Glade Riders, which is very cost effective. So the Wood Elves are going to be able to hold on to this one. And Minotaurs are pretty good against Treekin, but even still, Treekin have super high melee defense and physical resist, and if they're backed up by Eternal Guard, they should be able to kind of hold here. So this objective looks like it's going to be firmly in the wooden clutches of the Wood Elves. Now this side is a little bit more precarious. The Beastmen are threatening the objective. Big Daddy Durthu still fighting on the point, and it looks like he's mainly just been going after these units. He needs these like cheap spear units. Durthu needs to come over here and go and get like a big terror route. Like if he could route those guys off, that would basically guarantee the objective for the hardwood. In the backfield, we have a big Minotaur and Centaur parade. It looks like they're chasing down the remnants of these Glade Riders, which are broken. But the Dryads might be able to hold them at bay. We'll have to see. Durthu should be getting terror routes soon, though. I would wager the Beastmen do have Primal Fury, which makes them basically, yeah, like when they're low, they can be terror routed. But you know, yeah, they're not as squishy as people think. Eternal Guard holding, and the Butchers of Kalkengard back in, but Durthu and Spears should be able to break them. I would imagine a terror route's going to come in soon. Bray Shaman coming across most likely for a Traderkin. It looks like there's going to be a Traderkin going down here. It's going to hit Durthu, going to hit these Spears, but the Wood Elves managed to hold on to the objectives, guys. This battle's getting very, very scrappy. I mean, the Wood Elves are already a third of the way there in terms of the victory condition. Over here on this side, we see Mork the Shadowgate being an absolute pain in the butt, getting here and should be able to grind down some of the Dryads as well. And yeah, Minotaurs still just pushing, causing tons of havoc. Wood Elf Cavalry desperately trying to screen them out as these tattered archers put a little bit of firepower into these Minotaurs, but the silver shields on those Minotaurs makes a huge, huge difference. As far as the fighting on the objective goes, I think it's Wood Elf favored. Several Eternal Guard as well as this Treekin right here. I really think Treekin are such a cool unit, and they're actually good too. Like, I feel like in land battle they're a little bit more janky, but I think there's actually a really solid place for Treekin. Although in the last faction war, it was won by Charix, the Polish player, and he won the faction war using a ton of Treekin actually in land battle. So maybe there is a little bit more to it. Maybe there's a little bit more to it for sure. Up on the top side, we do see Wood Elves barely holding on to this point, but more Beastmen do get on. We got some Razorgore herds, some piggies coming on in. And this is where Durthu starts to shine. When the battle gets more drawn out, like having a big monstrous character still alive, it's much like tabletop. If you ever played a game of tabletop with like Death Guard, for example, and you have like Mortarion or an Imperial Knight, and it manages to survive the early game, and there's not much left, and he can kind of just go around and really, really be super imposing. But man, that Traderkin is so foul. The Traderkin does a ton of damage against Durthu. Minotaurs with great weapons are now out, so the Beastmen player did bring some big Minotaurs with great weapons to counter anything big. And having one of those like tech in reserves here seems like a really, really strong choice, as Big Daddy Durthu is going to be trying to get away, trying to fall back to his infantry to make sure he gets a little bit of support. And more Minotaurs coming around the back to be trapping him in. That's going to be rough. We do have some spears on the way, and it looks like Durthu is going to be getting an Earthblood from his Lifecaster, which is around somewhere. Yeah, Lifecaster here in the backfield just kind of lurking, and Durthu really needs some milk right now. He needs to get these Eternal Guard over here to help him, because he will die to these great weapons if he's not careful. Back objective, objective 2 is owned here by the Wood Elves. A lot of units, a little bit sloppy here. These units definitely need to be unsummoned, but obviously he's very focused on the fighting over there, but not having these units in reserve is going to hurt pretty bad, and they're basically useless. And it looks like the Treekin and some Eternal Guard going to be moving for the back objective for the Beastmen. And will Durthu be able to kind of swing this one? Sandwich is pulling ahead in value, but remember the Wood Elves have access to healing, and the Beastmen really just have Butchers of Kalkengard and Morgur for their healing, so it's not going to be quite as much. Durthu with the Optimus Pine Sword, he is such a cool character. Man, I really hope Durthu gets some play in the old world, and he should. They have the Durthu model, still the same one from Warhammer Fantasy being sold, so I would wager Durthu will be in the old world tabletop game, which is rad. So he's got his big claw there, dragging down some of these units, and we do see Ye Old Spellsinger of Life moving up. More pigs on the way in, so the Razorgore herds are on the way. And once again, the Wood Elves are going to have to fight and get this objective back. Sandwich is starting to catch up on score. It looks like the Wood Elves were thinking about playing this back objective, but I think they just have to kind of endure Morkur here, and it looks like the unsummoning has taken place. So there's only a couple tattered units here now. It looks like a bunch of them were unsummoned, but is Durthu going to be able to carry this? Is he going to be able to kind of get this back here? Looks like an Awakening, the Wood going down, doing a little bit of damage against the Ungors, but man, these anti-large attacks from these Minotaur Great Weapons is brutal. Durthu's almost paid for himself. If you bring Durthu just with his sword and basically no magic, he costs just over 2,000 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even a little bit cheaper. So he's almost paid for himself, which is good. But we do see Sandwich starting to run away with the game. And all of his value that you're seeing right now is basically coming from beating down Durthu. The value is very close. And if Durthu can somehow survive and get more healing, maybe. We don't have a regrowth, though. It's only going to be Earthbloods. Looks like Durthu is trying to get away. We do see some Hawkeyes of Jakira coming in. I love it. Hawkeyes of Jakira are an awesome unit. So these Way Watchers, they have a leadership bomb. When they hit something, it is insane. Negative 16 leadership. So, in the late game, let's say you kill your opponent's lord and you have the Hawkeyes out, you can kind of instantly route things. It's very, very strong. So despite being up in value, we see the Hawkeyes of Jakira coming in for the Wood Elves, and they're able to do some decent crowd clearing here. We do see Durthu also fighting versus a bunch of chaff units. Beastmen also threatening this objective. We do see some Gore herds with shields as well as some Centaurs. Are they going to be going to the far side? A mass route for the Beastmen, guys. We see a lot of Beastmen units routing here, and it looks like the Dryads with Durthu and the Hawkeyes of Drakira are going to move up. And those Minotaurs with Great Open still very much on the field. We got 16 of them here, and that is a great engagement for the Minotaurs once again. They actually isolate the Treekin, and Treekin will be hard countered by Minotaurs with Great Opens, like super, super hard countered. But if Eternal Guard are in there helping him, I mean, it could be a little bit of a better fight. But the Treekin do get pounded, and Durthu and company do recapture the objective, ladies and gentlemen. Are the Gore herds going to go for the home objective? I definitely think it wouldn't be a bad idea to go support Morkur here. Like, Morkur plus those Gores might be able to potentially take that one eventually. But the Wood Elves do get the points back, guys. Really, really close match. Both these players are currently undefeated in tonight's Swiss tournament, so clearly it is a duel of fates. They're both quite evenly matched here. As we do see more magic coming down, what is that magic going to be? Another dirty Traderkin, and Traderkin is so good. I bet you this caster is over 2,000 value. Yeah, 2,000 value right here. And yeah, Durthu's going to take a lot of damage from that. It's going to be wearing off in a couple seconds. Earthblood going down. And the Hawkeyes of Drakira, once again, just being huge MVPs. They're sitting at 1,100 value. They've literally been out for like 30 seconds, it feels like. Probably a little bit more. And everything that gets close to them, they're just like routing it with that focus fire. Crazy good. And Durthu's getting terror routes. You know, as Beastmen units come in here and they're tattered and trying to rally them back in, they're just instantly going to get terror routed, which is really, really big. Morkur and the Gores trying to take this objective. We do have Dryads versus Gore herds. I actually don't know who wins this. I think Dryads just barely edge it out because of the physical resist. The physical resist of 20% is huge if you don't have magic damage. So I think that gives Dryads the edge, although, I don't know, Gore herds have that charge bonus, which is really nice too, but so do Dryads. Yeah, I don't know. Morkur's also going to interrupt that fight, so we won't really get to see here. The Beastmen, they have isolated a big boy once again, and I think this could be the straw that breaks the Wood Elves back here. Is Durthu getting killed potentially by these Minotaurs with Great Opens? He's got no infantry support. Looks like the Beastmen were able to push back those archers by sacrificing some Centaurs, but Durthu is 100% going to break here, and he's trying to fight the Minnows with Great Weapons, but these guys are just too thick. Dude, look at them. Oh my god, they have like mullets! Look, the Beastmen have mullets. I love it. Yeah, look at the HP here. 700 HP. Durthu still stomping on the way out, but he is going to be going down right now for sure. Good night, Sweet Prince. Will the Wood Elves be able to recover from that loss? Looking at the value lead, Sandwich does pull the value back. Morkur, the Shadow Gave, being an absolute menace as he fights on this point. He is able to break through some of the Dryads and let the Gore herds actually win that fight. And I do think it's the beginning of the end. It looks like Sandwich is going to pull this one out. The score lead does certainly favor the Wood Elves, but they're going to get triple capped here, I would imagine. And they do not have enough to just win on one. So they would have to get an objective back here, but it's not 100% over. Morkur can't be everywhere at once, but it looks like the back objective being taken here is going to probably be the straw that breaks their back. I don't think it's going to happen. Somebody in chat saying, the tree is countered by a giant axe. Notes taken. Yeah, I know. It's pretty great. Any Corn games? I don't know if we had a Corn player sign up tonight. I don't know if we did. We'll have to take a look. It has to be you, Outer Region. You have to make your glorious return. So the Bray Shaman, holding it down with those Traderkins, probably sitting at some pretty sweet values. Yeah, 2,300 right here. Wood Elves do have a lot of Dryads in this point. Probably going to be able to swing this one back. I mean, the Beastmen are not looking to be in like amazing shape either. And the Wood Elves could pull this game out with some mobility shenanigans, right? Like if they can take this one really quickly, then take some Dryads around the top and maybe get that, while also like pressuring this objective with a little bit of shooting, we could see it. But Cav on Doggo fight here, so it's going to be the Chaos Warhounds versus Glade Riders. Glade Riders will absolutely dominate that fight, but with Morkur nearby, it'll be a little bit less of a one-sided fight. More Dryads on the way in. The Wood Elves do swing that objective back, guys. And also some hard wood on the other side pressuring. Now, you have to remember, guys, a shit ton of healing went down for the Wood Elves. So the value is probably like almost dead even. Wood Elves swarming up onto the point, guys. Very, very close match. This is some high-level domination right here. Objective 3 taken by the Wood Elves, and you can see the Minotaurs kind of being dragged down by the Wood Elf chaff right now. The Eternal Guard, the Azrai moving in, and showing why they are the coolest of all the elf factions, in my opinion. I really like Wood Elves. The aesthetic is so cool. So this objective going to be going to the Wood Elves. On the backside, we do see this one going to the Wood Elves as well. Morkur alone is not able to handle this. Is not able to handle this, guys. As the Dryads push up, and this is taken, and they're also up on points. Not by much, but the Beastmen are just kind of running out of steam. How'd that happen? It's crazy. The Minotaur is just getting dragged down by the chaff units, I suppose. Durthu might have done his job. Over here, we do see objective number 1. The 1 Eternal Guard unit is going to be pressing that. And over the course, you know, and these guys could make a difference. If they can get it kind of captured up, and then like a mobile unit can come and finish the job, that could be quite nice. But we do see the game starting to flip to Sergio, which is showing why he is the number 1 ranked Wood Elf player, more or less, in Total War Warhammer. Dryads still bumping and grinding here. Centaurs over chasing, trying to catch them and kill the cav units, but they're going to be dragged into these dudes. And Morkur, he's been an absolute menace this game. He's been turning a ton of fights here, and his value is not amazing, but He's like permanent 3 capture weight. Wherever he goes, he just maintains that capture weight. But guys, I think the Wood Elves are going to get this one. I just think the Beastmen don't have the time or the momentum to get this one back. Minotaurs with Great Weapons going to be pretty terrible against the Eternal Guard, and Dryads also a decent counter against like Beastmen Chaff and Beastmen Infantry in general. We have some Glade Riders on standby. They could come around and flank charge here and break that position. And back on the objective number 2, it looks like it's going to be held down here. I think the Dryads and the Spear is going to get the job done, ladies and gentlemen. And even the back objective is kind of being threatened a little bit by the Eternal Guard. I wouldn't hate the idea of bringing these guys right here and just like trying to like ninja that one real quick. That could be quite strong. Although, yeah, it's too close. This game is way too close to, you can't really afford to lose anything. Back objective here, flipping back and forth. Looks like the Beastmen able to get some Centaurs up in the point, but Centaurs will not do super hot in sustained combat versus Dryads. And multiple Dryads out coming from the Vanguard points. One of the nice things about them is they have good capture weight, good fighting power, and do have Vanguard deployment. So the Wood Elf Vanguard, showing to be very, very pertinent here in this match as more Dryads get onto the point. And the Wood Elves look like they're going to get this one. I did not expect that, but man, Wood Elves have been on a bit of a tear lately. A lot of the streams and VODs I've been kind of watching, as well as my own faction war, the Wood Elves seem to have been making a bit of a resurgence. And now we get War Dancers coming in. War Dancers are great at killing chaff. That's pretty much what they're designed to do, is just basically butcher Beastmen Chaff units, which they will do 100%. Looking here, we got multiple Centaurs, no infantry. This back objective still being captured by this one Eternal Guard unit. It's taking its time, but it's kind of halfway there. And looking at the points, I think the Beastmen are just going to run out of time. Even if they could somehow muster a comeback, I just don't think it's going to go down. Man, after losing Durthu too, what a great game. The Dryads looking extra cool. Talk about an easy model to paint tabletop. Just, prime them, paint them brown, and dry brush them, and do some green glowing cool effects on them, and it'll look pretty good. The Dryads fighting, and it looks like they actually have earned quite a few chevrons. Either that or they came with chevrons. I'm not sure. Yeah, Dryads at 1,300 value, which is crazy, crazy good. So the Elves have done it, guys. There's no way for the Beastmen to come back. And look at this. He did end up doing that play we talked about earlier, of pulling the Cav. And that is going to be a victory for Serkia. GG, well played. Great match by both players. It looked like the Wood Elves had the advantage early, and then Sandwich came back, killed Durthu. Great Minotaur play. But then the Wood Elves were able to just outgrind them. And their leadership really showed as the game went on. They did it. Space Penguin, hey man, how you doing? How you doing? So looking here. 997 on the Minotaurs, 1,400, but let's look at the great weapons. That's what you guys want to see. 1,800, 1,500. They almost carried the game. Centaur's doing really 2,000 value Centaurs. Jeez. Durthu paid for himself, right? Like, it wasn't that bad. He did get some good tear routes. Hawkeyes of Drakira, I think, were the big swing right there. When they came in and just like nuked like 3 Beastmen units and routed their leadership and bought time for Durthu, I think that was enough. That was a really, really good game. And, I knew there was a reason why we wanted to cast those players. They are great players and very, very fun to watch. So, all right, one sec here, guys. Checking this out. Let's go see how the round is looking. And looks like a couple people may have dropped. I'm not sure. We will have to double check here. And 1 second. I hear some ominous beeping in the house. Gonna go make sure it's not some weird fire alarm or something. Be right back. All right. Somebody in chat asking when we'll see more Blood Bowl. Sometime in the next few days. Maybe even tomorrow I might do a Blood Bowl stream. I'm not sure. Yeah, the Hawkeyes of Drakira are a really, really cool unit. So let me just make sure the scores look all correct here. So let's go look at the brackets here. Platypus has won all 3 games, so that is correct. We had some drops as well, which is fine. Very, very normal in Swiss tournaments to have some drops as you go on. So we just finished this game. So now we need to see when House Cat of War and Spaghetti are going to be finishing their match. So thank you guys for joining, by the way. It's fun. It's fun to be back with some Total War. This is the heart and soul of the channel. It's Total War Warhammer. So it's good to be back to it. Yeah, Space Penguin. Well, so Space Penguin, you're saying you have hand and elbow problems. What specifically are your problems? Do you have like tendonitis, tendinosis? Do you have some form of arthritis, nerve compression, carpal tunnel? I've been through pretty much the whole, run of all of those things to an extent. But yeah. Yeah, we talked about Chaos Taurus a little bit earlier. Yeah, the Wood Elves are good. The Wood Elves actually can beat Slaanesh. One of the matchups in which Slaanesh does struggle, I think, or have a harder time is with Wood Elves, believe it or not. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's see here. Checking chat. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you for sending the replay, my friend. And looking around here. All right, I think we're all good. Okay, just checking here. Couple admin things real quick for next round. All right, so we just need to get ready for the next round here in a second. Okay, perfect. No, I'm loving Company of Heroes. It's really fun. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy all these games. You know, I wouldn't cover games if I didn't enjoy them. That's the thing. You know, there's obviously bigger games you could cover, which would be, you know, when you look at it from a business perspective, would be far more lucrative. But, you know, I play what I enjoy. I have to have passion for what I'm covering. Yeah. We talked quite a bit about the Dowie Tsar earlier, but we can talk about them a little bit later here. So, all right. So, looks like everybody's finished. Let's advance the rounds. There we go. I don't know if we've had any Lizard games tonight. I don't think we have. All right, so they haven't played yet. I do not believe these two have played. Yeah, all right. Cool. So we casted, we have a Skaven versus Wood Elf game, which is a top game right now, but we just casted them. So let's go ahead and do, let's see, I think FPod is playing Lizardmen versus Stingers. What is Stingers playing? Okay, so we'll cast your game. Lobby, please. All right. That looks good. And we're going to do Stingers as well. Outstanding. Looking good. Okay, there we go. We got a lobby coming up here. And we'll find this one. Shout out to all the players for making this smooth, man. Just moving from game to game when all the new rounds start. So after this, we have a best of one grand finals. So the two individuals with the best records at the very end will have a best of one grand final, and that's pretty much that. That is pretty much that. Yeah, the Chaos Dwarf trailer was cool, but it was very, very hyped. But like I enjoyed the Immortal Empires trailer like exponentially more. The Immortal Empires trailer with like Franz and you know, those like epic duo moments where they have like Gotrek and Felix versus Scarbrand, and they have all that. Like I enjoyed that trailer way more. How can I get into the tournament? You just have to join our Discord, and then you have to select the role of which game you want, and then you just when we make a sign up, you just go to the website and join. Pretty straightforward. Let me get an invite for you guys. So for anybody who wants to get into the Discord and participate, we have so we have different roles for whichever game you're interested in. So if you're interested in Total War, there's a role, Company of Heroes, Age of Empires, or Blood Bowl. Those are the 4 primary games that are very active in the Discord. And you can find Blood Bowl games pretty much all day in our Discord through our own Discord league we have. And same with Company of Heroes. There's always people playing and everything. So yeah. That's pretty much that. You got to sign up. And if you go to our website, totaltavern.com, you can always see when tournaments are coming up. So let me show you what that looks like, bud. If you're a little bit newer here to the community, welcome. And let me pull this up. So I made this website with my developer, Paul. And we have like, there's guides on here about like how to play and various, there's a ton of different articles and blogs just about the game written by some of the top players. And you can see upcoming tournaments. So tomorrow we have Midweek Madness being hosted by Subutai. It's a best of 3 tournament tomorrow, and that starts at 12 noon. So there's always stuff going on. There's this tournament. We also share our minis. So you can see some of the miniatures that people in our community have painted, which is quite a bit of fun. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, that's a nice one. That is a nice one. Look at that ogre. Jeez. Some epic Bretonnian Knights by Jay Phoenix. So we got a lot of fun stuff here. And yeah, you can also look at the Hall of Fame, see some of the top players, see the leaderboard. And I think we got the Magistrate avatar. Yeah, I think Hitman Hippo got it. Let's check here. It's a fight, yeah. Yeah, the beast roaring at the end was pretty cool. See, Hitman Hippo just unlocked the Magistrate avatar on the website. Pretty cool. Kind of taking some inspiration from Warcraft 3, where when you win a certain number of times with the faction, you can unlock pictures and all that. So, yeah, life's good. Life's good, man. Come join us. Come have some fun. Is there a new place for players to get into domination? Yeah, or join our Discord, honestly. If you join our Discord, there's a bunch of other resources of other, like, you know, clans and communities, and we also have a very active community ourselves. I do cover a lot of games, you know, so there was a time on my channel when I pretty much only did Total War, but I do cover a lot of games now, so it's a little bit more, you know, we cover other things too. It's not just Total War, but even still, Total War is still the epicenter of everything, so yeah, come join the party. I'm super excited about the new dwarves. I'm excited for them to have a really, really overpowered cannon. Like, one of their artillery pieces is just going to one-shot things, and it's going to be great for like a month. But all jokes aside, I'm super... Chaos Dwarves, I'm going to make a Chaos Dwarf tabletop army. It's going to happen. Once they're going to get re-released. So Games Workshop usually works in tandem with Creative Assembly releases, right? So Chaos Dwarves are going to come out next month, and I would be willing to put money on the fact that we'll probably see some Chaos Dwarf from Games Workshop, like miniatures. They'll be like, oh, by the way, Chaos Dwarves are also coming to Age of Sigmar. You can play them in Total War and buy them, you know, for Age of Sigmar 2 and for Old World. Like, it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna collect Chaos Dwarves. I've always wanted to have a Chaos Dwarf army, and I just love artillery. I think it's so fun. So yeah, very excited for that. So Lizardmen versus High Elves. Oh shit, it's gonna be a matchup of matchups here. All right. And we will see how this is going to go down. Tomorrow night, we have an Age of Empires stream. Or is it tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon? I can't remember. But tomorrow, we have an Age of Empires FFA tournament being hosted by our Discord folks, Leto Atreides, Leto the Duke, as well as Gunhound. So shout out to you guys if you're here. I don't know if you are, but shout out. What do you think about war games like... I haven't played those, so I have no reference. I have no reference of those. Will Chaos Dwarves be in the old world? I would put, say, like, yeah, 90% chance they will be. Yeah. Dude, because, like, okay, they added Grombrindle to this game, and then, like, Games Workshop, like, reveals a new Grombrindle model and, like, has a synergy. You know, when Game 3 came out, they showed art for Kislev in the old world and for Cathay, I think, as well. So there's always those, like, collaborations. Yeah. Don't do it, man. I'm going to collect the Dwarf Army as well. But I've always wanted a Chaos Dwarf army. I always thought they were so cool. The thing is, I collect so many good guy factions in tabletop. I have, you know, I need some bad guy factions for the channel, which is going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. I think next week or two, there's going to be big announcements for the big game systems they have. That's pretty exciting. I think I think that Games Workshop's going to be announcing 10th edition tabletop soon. So we're going to get 10th edition Warhammer 40k, which is great. Because 9th edition is not that great. It's very convoluted. There's tons of rules bloat. The game needs to be simplified a little bit. So I actually played 40k last weekend. It was really nice to be back to it with my Death Guard and Chaos Space Marines. All right, guys. Here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is a round 4 match. Potentially, if one of these players wins, depending on their tiebreakers, they could be going to the grand finals. The winner of the Wood Elf Skaven matchup, though, Serkia and Platypus, is going to be determining a guaranteed grand finalist, and the tiebreaker might still exist there as well. So we'll have to see. But Lizardmen, High Elves, we got a Slan Mage of High Magic looking to cast Tempest, and a double Salamander. Wow, okay, this is pretty exciting as well. I know some of you guys wanted some big dinosaurs, so here you go. You got double Ancient Salamander. For the Lizards, or excuse me, the High Elves, certainly not Lizards. It's going to be Imric, probably on a dragon. Imric is super meta. He's very, very strong. The Horn is just so good, and on top of that, he's a crazy fighter. White Lions of Crace are great because they deal with Lizardman cavalry very well. They can also fight clever girls. They are better than Saurus in combat because of their armor, so they can punch through Saurus, and overall are just a really, really good infantry unit for sure. So we do have Imric, some bows in the back, and a mage. We have a mage. Yeah, you know, so before we start, I see your message there, Space Penguin, talking about how you had similar issues. So my issues were interesting. So I had basically carpal tunnel and the elbow version of that. I got the surgeries to fix that, and it did fix it. I don't have those problems anymore. However, it didn't stop the severe pain I was having in my tendons, and that I still kind of have to this day. So I recently finally figured out what it was, you know, and it turns out I have a form of like arthritis based on like psoriasis. So it's called like psoriatic arthritis, which like attacks my tendons. So I would have to take some sort of like immunosuppressant drug to like get rid of that, which I'm like, oh man, it's like, it's a stressful thing. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I had been dealing with. But All right, guys. So we see Imric, we see the bows in the back, we see the white lines of Krace. Lots of good times, and the double Ancient Salamander, which is awesome. Ancient Salamanders have 95 armor, so high health bows actually don't do that much to them. And they themselves wreck armored infantry. So if we're talking white lines of Krace, Lothern Seaguard, those bad boys are going to be able to, yeah, they're going to be able to do some big work. So we got 2 of those, and that's it. Yeah, Slan is going to be casting Tempest to just kind of lock down Imric the entire game, I would imagine. Imric obviously has the capabilities of bullying these Salamanders, but Chameleon Skinks shooting at him with Tempest should be a nice little synergy for sure. Should be a nice little synergy. All right, guys, predictions. Who do you think's going to win? Let's put it up to a quick poll here. I wish there was like a more efficient way to do it. Dino or Elves. All right, guys. Let us know who you think's going to win as we progress into this battle. I'll close the poll in just a minute. Let's have some fun, man. No more games. No more games. So Saurus Warriors and Skinks moving up. Going to be taking the classic position on these 2 objectives here, most likely. So just going to be doing that. And usually is the case for Itza. And then people usually just send like a Haggard solo infantry unit to the top side. And that's how that goes down. It looks like a lot of you guys want the Dinos to win. FPod, a very strong player, has won several tournaments. So too, I think Stingers has won some tournaments as well. So these are both individuals who are very, very capable of winning an event. So it looks like the poll is going to be favoring the Dinos right now. It looks like a decent advantage for the Dinos, according to you guys. Chameleon Skinks being one of the most annoying units in the game, fulfilling their role. Shooting darts. Why is Imric... Why is he like covered in blood already? You see that? He literally took like 2 darts from a Chameleon Skink, and the Dragon's like, I'm too weak, Anakin. I cannot take anymore. Yeah, pretty great stuff. But the Dragon's going to be pulling back, and the old Lizard's being very, very conservative here. Very, very conservative. Just kind of sitting back, taking it easy. We do have the Slan Mage moving up. Going to be dropping some Tempest, I would wager, on your boy. And yeah, Tempest is a great spell. It does good damage. It locks him down. That, like, honestly, if somebody brings a character like Imric, you want to just be spamming Tempest the entire game. Like, not every time it's off cooldown, that's all you do. A little bit of a blunder here, landing the Ancient Salamanders. Granted, 2 Ancient Salamanders could put some hurt on Imric, but Imric would probably be favored in that trade. And now we're going to be seeing a snare here. So Imric is going to be taking some damage. He's also heavily slowed. Chameleon Skinks, Javelin Cohorts getting big damage. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Value City. That feels really, really good. And look at that. So he pulls back. Looks like there's a heal going down. We do have Apotheosis for the High Elves as well. What other magics do the High Elves have? So they didn't bring Lore of Life. Yeah, they brought a Mage of High Magic. And they have just Apotheosis and Fiery Convocation as well. Oh my god, that's going to be interesting. But so far, very favorable trading for the Dinos. The darts and javelins, and also we do get the Amixon Barbaras here, one of my favorites. Barbara doesn't mess around. And they're throwing their barbs up at Imric, and Imric's getting forced back pretty hard. So, you know, Imric is a huge centerpiece model, much like in Tabletop. If you lose your big dragon or monster very early, it can set you back super hard. And your chances of winning that game are very slim unless your opponent kind of like blunders, right? So Amixon Barb's just kind of hanging out. And yeah, a lot of high firepower coming in. Lothern Seaguard putting some hurt onto the Skank cohorts as well as the Chameleons despite their missile resist. Apotheosis going down on Imric. Going to be healing him up, but we'll see if it's enough. And the Ancient Salamanders dropping some shots from downtown, and they are putting a little bit of hurt onto the white lines of Krace. Not a ton, but certainly a little bit. They have really good range. People forget that Ancient Salamanders have 160 range. So if we're looking at like a lot of factions, archers do not have that kind of range. Granted, the elves are pretty elite, so they're going to be having good range like that. Dragon Prince is on the way in, so Dragon Prince is going to move up. Probably going to buckle into these swords. Beautiful breath attack from Imric down the pipe of those Saurus warriors there. And here comes a couple unit of Skinks, which are going to get absolutely wrecked. Oh my god, there's going to be a Fiery Convocation as well. So the Dragon Princes do a little bit of a haggard uphill charge, but then the Fiery Convocation, oh my god, that's going to be brutal. That's going to be overkill. Oh, the Skinks get roasted. Look at the damage. Oh, that was such a cool play there. That was such a badass play by Stingers. So he does nail both of those guys, and now there's going to be some Coldland Spear Riders coming up. Dragon Princes probably do not want that fight. So for the Dragon Princes, what you would want to do is you want to pull back, send up the Lothern Seaguard as spears, and just kind of like pull the Dragon Princes around this way and hit something else. So that is 1000% the play that you're going to be looking for. In the meantime, Salamander's still shooting in. Salamander's putting some hurt onto the white lines of Krace here, as we do see your boy Imric trying to chase down this Toad here. And I mean, he might be able to get the Toad. If there's not any support that's coming, Tempest or something to help him escape, Imric hits super hard, and there's the Tempest, so that's going to buy time. And now the Amixon Barbaras are going to come across, and they're going to complain to some managers here as they will be blasting into Imric. So here they come. Chameleon Skinks, Ancient Salamanders, still firing pretty effectively here as far as battlefield trading goes. The value is going to be favoring the Dinos, but not by as much. Looks like the gap has been closed a little bit by the Elves, and the Elves obviously have a ton of healing. And Imric's kind of getting worked here a little bit. Yeah, these Amexon Barbs doing some work, man. They have those nice armor-piercing shards there that will tear into the hide of Imric's 90 armor. Frontline fighting, Saurus Warriors battling against Lothern Seaguard. That's going to be a huge win for the Lizards. White Lines of Grace kind of getting pounded around the battlefield. Looks like they got beat up by some of the focus fire from the Ancient Salamanders a little bit, but Imric coming to turn the tide of this fight. Lizardmen own this objective, and the middle objective is currently owned by the Lizardmen, and the top objective is currently uncontested. The Dragon Prince is going to be battling against Spear Riders. They better run away, and it looks like they do get away. So they are going to be able to flee the scene as the Cold One Spear Riders try and close the gap. We'll see if they're going to get it. This would be a really bad fight. Dragon Princes not getting a charge on Cold One Spear Riders is pretty much a disaster. They would take massive, massive losses, and it would not be cost effective at all. So you want to run back here, summon some spears out to buffer them, and then turn around and fight. That's probably going to be the best bet that you can really hope for here. On the middle objective, it looks like it's being firmly held by the Toad. We do see the two Ancient Salamanders working as kind of semi-artillery pieces, and Imric looks as if he wants to go for one, but he is going to get caught in another Tempest. And that should allow the Ancient Salamander to get away. And once again, he's really extended into the backfield where the two Amexon Barbaras are able to just rip some huge shots into him. And every time he comes back here, man, he's just getting punished so hard by that giant banana toad right here. So, or is it Toad, or is he's the orange toad? He's the orange toad, yeah. So he's the orange guy. Yeah, he's trying his best. Apotheos is trying to kind of keep pace with that. We do get some Rangers to come and flip this objective. Rangers are pretty good against a lot of Lizard infantry. They trade okay into Saurus. They will lose, but they trade okay, being a cheaper unit. And they also do dominate red-crested skinks and skink cohorts, depending on the javelin play. And I believe both Ancient Salamanders are still very much alive. Yeah, this one's coming back here. This Ancient Salamander is still putting some hurt down. Blood Statute of Spite being used on the White Lines of Grace, which is a decent sustained damage spell. And where are you going to shoot? He's just kind of hanging out right now. These guys are actually not bad in combat either. Okay, there he goes. Shot's going downtown, and it kind of hits. A little bit hard to hit a target here. It looks like it's like a big melee and whatnot. So, yeah, Tempest works even when they're landed. Yeah, it can only target units that are flying. So they have to have the flying ability to be targeted by Tempest. Top objective taken by no one yet, and the other two are being hotly contested. Looks like F-Pod's going to be sending some skinks up here to grab this one. In the meantime, Saurus Spear is moving up with Colton Spear Riders, and this is super, super advantageous for the Dinos. And it looks like F-Pod is starting to take over this game as the Colton Riders are going to be getting supported by Spears, losing a very expensive unit of Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes are great. I mean, they're an amazing shock cav unit, super tanky, really resilient. Fire resist isn't like, there's a lot of fire damage. I mean, the Salamanders do fire damage, right? But, yeah, even still, they're not going to have a good time fighting these two units. Looking at the middle, we do see the Elves. They have a couple Lothern Seaguard, but for the most part, the Elves are being overwhelmed. Those Rangers that went to get the side objective were taken down by the Banana Master, most likely focused by the Ancient Salamanders. And Imric is just kind of forced back into the shadows. And having that big centerpiece not be able to be active is really, I think, why this game is turning, right? Like, Imric is supposed to have killed, like, an Ancient Salamander, terror routed some positions, gotten crazy breath attacks and whatnot, but, yeah, he's running for the hill. So somebody in chat asking, what was the flying unit in the Chaos Dwarf trailer? So they have the Bale Tauruses. That is what the heroes fly on. They're like these, and then they have, I think Lamasu. They have like their own version of like a Manticore. Yeah, they have the Chaos Dwarfs have a couple really cool monsters. They're so neat. Side objective taken by the Lizards. Middle objective taken by the Lizardmen as well. On the top side, we do see this one being firmly held by the Dinos. It is a triple cap right now with a points advantage of 3,000. Both sides have healing, so that can really, be taken into account as well. And it looks like the Amexon Barbara is going to be pushing into the backfield, trying to pound the Dragon Princes. And it looks like we do get Fireborn being summoned out as well. Cold One Spear Riders are a really good unit. In my opinion, one of the best anti-large cav units in the game. But this is what we're here for. The Elves sally forth once more into the deep. Will they charge and hammer down some of the cav units? Definitely don't want to be charging into spears. That would be pretty terrible. So at the last second, they do pull away. The Cold One Spear Riders coming for them, and probably just going to fight shoulder to shoulder with Imric would be your best bet. Look at that. Cold One Spear Riders swarming, more Cold One Spear Riders. Amexon Barbaras also getting a line of sight. So they're going to come up and rip some side shots. And like I said, great armor piercing on these guys, both in melee as well as shooting, but more so in melee. That's what they really want to be doing. And yeah, Imric better be careful. Dragon Princes not getting these charges off is really disastrous. I mean, their stats are crazy good, but yeah, every time these Dragon Princes are kind of just getting caught, and they're not getting these charges, which would really give them the edge. And it looks like he's trying to retreat, which I think at this point, maybe you just turn and fight and have Imric help, and maybe you can win that one. We'll have to see. Over here, we do have some High Elf Rangers who are attempting to grab that objective, but the Salamander is not going to be having any of that. So here they come. He's going for it. Look at that. Look how cool Salamanders are. I'm so happy we get to see like big monsters every now and then. So they're moving in. He's going to be putting some work on. FPod is certainly one of the better Lizardman players in the community. I think FPod is very much a dedicated Lizardman player, like main. Just kind of like how I'd consider myself an Empire specialist. He's like a Lizardman specialist for sure. Over here, Imric, Starlance is active. Fireborn battling, but not having a good trade, considering they didn't get their charge bonus. But now that Imric is here, Imric should be able to fold a lot of these Velociraptor Cav. He does get an attack there, and several of them do go down. So the Fireborn will end up winning, but at the end of the day, the Heil player does tap out, knowing it's a triple cap and a massive deficit. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a victory for the old ones. That was a fun game, man. The Salamanders were really cool. The Amexon Barbs were super MVP. The Tempest was a really strong tech. Obviously, if people get really stale in the meta and just bring the same Lord every single time, then you can start to counterplay it, right? By bringing like a Tempest character, which is really, really nice. 1200, 900, not crazy value on those. The Amexon Barbs, 1400, Colden Riders all did pretty well. And he didn't even have to bring out the Colossadon Hunters, which of course are another good tool against Imric. So GG, well played. All right. Somebody in chat saying, Mr. Reza there saying, I'll become a Dowie Czar specialist. Yeah, do it. We have tournaments that are good for specialist players, like these ones where you just have to know how to play one faction, basically. So yeah. But there's a lot of matchups you have to learn. There's a lot of matchups. Saying chat called it? Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I mean, it's always, as much as of a meme it is, it's always a relatively safe bet to bet against the High Elves. But FBot is a very good Lizardman player. Very, very good. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the tournament page. I wonder if we're going to see any bounty attempts tonight. That would be pretty ambitious. Yeah, because the finals are best of one, so it would be very, very ambitious. All right, so taking a look here. We have currently, looks like there's going to be 3 spots or 3 matches to finish. Yeah, there's going to be 3 matches to finish. So we just finished that one, which was, or did they report that already? Wow, they reported that one super, super quick. Super, super quick. All right, so heading on back. Now we go to the grand finals. So we will see what the scores look like at the very end. We do a tiebreaker. It could be a rematch of one of the earlier games, which yeah, could happen, but we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't mind getting to see that matchup again. Why does Imric carry a lance when his chisel jaw is sharper? Yeah. I don't know. He definitely needs the lance. Only 800 value. Didn't save him this game. Hey, Mr. Pig, how you doing, man? It's been a while. Yeah, you're here just in time for the grand finals of tonight's tournament. So we're going to be jumping on to another match here in just a minute. Yeah, we've casted 4 games tonight. And this, we're going to be doing one more. So it's a 5-game stream. The lance has more range than his chiseled jawline, yeah. Who has the most chiseled jawline in all of Warhammer? I mean, all of Warhammer Fantasy and Total War. Let's see. Franz, I don't know if his is that. I mean, he's got a very pronounced chin, but I don't know if it's it's hard to tell. Let's see. Well, I mean, talk about sharp jawlines. The undead. They literally have no cheek fat or anything, so they're of course they're going to have chiseled jaws. Okay, amongst the living. Okay, definitely is not going to be ogres. Looking at your boy Greasus here, he's got 8 chins. Humanoids, yeah. Is it going to be one of the elves? You can't see Tyrion under. You can't see Tyrion under the under his helmet. I feel like it would be like a Tyrion. Eltharion probably as well, but he's hard to tell. Franz is the biggest Chad, though, for sure. Look at him, dude. Yeah. Is it Sigvald? It probably is Sigvald, right? Yeah, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily, guys. Yeah, Imric looks pretty like a definite contender. Let's see. Imric's definitely a contender, yeah. He's got that. What about Bretonnia? Yeah, Lewin's also in the game. Yeah, it's hard to say. Man for eye sockets. Yeah, it's a fun discussion. All right, so let me see where we're at with the finals here. I'm gonna have to do the tiebreakers, which is always fun. You guys ready for some Turin math stream? One of our favorites here. All right, so there's literally 1 game left, which I need them to finish before I can do the tiebreaker. The only undefeated player is the Wood Elves, actually. So then it'll be the finals will be okay. Those are versus working on tiebreakers now. All right, very cool. Okay, So we just need this last match to finish and we can get going. Darian, thank you for becoming a member. And thank you for helping us reach our March goal. Our March membership goal. Thank you so much, man. Keeps the old man going. Skarsnik, yeah, you know, he's pretty serious as well. Orion, yeah, Orion's a variable too. Alexis, thank you for the 12. Greatly appreciate it. Yes. Hope all is well up in Canada. You can't really see dwarf drawlines because they all have beards. That's true. Yeah, it is true. Jolly Green Olgor. Looking at like the demon princes, let's see who's the coolest of all the demon princes of the Demons of Chaos. I am a big fan of Pink Olgor. Pink Olgor is pretty fun because he's anti-large, and he also has the ability to buff your entire army with Blissful Rapture. So like all of your corn dogs are getting plus 12 melee attack constantly, which is crazy good. I feel like the Darkling Prince, if you just bring the Lash and Acquiescence, like, and just spam those every chance you get, you can also bring Hysterical Frenzy. Like, that doesn't seem like a terrible choice. Like, he's only 2,600, and you could literally then bring like a decent army with like a ton of Fleshhounds and stuff. Green Olgor is kind of crap, unfortunately, just like everything Nurgle. Green Olgor has the Restored the Blighted, so he has a chance of healing, but it's kind of like flimsy and inconsistent, so that's like his gimmick, which doesn't seem that good. Red Olgor, on the other hand, Red Olgor is good. Like, you just bring him dirt cheap, like this, and he's an anti-large fighter for 2,500 that heals himself in combat. Like, self-healing. I still think, yeah. Blue Olgor, on the other hand, is really good. Blue Olgor is amazing because he you can do blue fire spam. You can also do Infernal Gateway if you want to, and he has Gaze of Fate, so he can snare things in place, and he's just really good. Blue Olgor is incredibly strong. What other Olgors are we missing? We talked about all the basic ones. The standard demon princes are just crap, really. Like, Be'lakor is still the raid boss of this faction. He's just like such a pain in the ass. But people are like getting used to Be'lakor, you know. I feel like there's going to be some more meta kind of discovered, you know, in due time. Anyways, let's do the tiebreaker now. Hey, MaxF, I'm glad you enjoyed the content, man. Okay, so we're still waiting on one match. I wonder if I could do the tiebreaker, although it is going to affect a couple matches, so I need them to finish before I can do the tiebreaker. So they have time anyways. We finished that one pretty quick. Yeah, we got to do that. I feel like they just made me a Nurgle main, yeah. Yeah, Nurgle is just suffering. Nurgle in tabletop is a little bit better though, for sure. I play Death Guard in tabletop, and they're really fun to play. Like, it actually feels like Nurgle. They're slow, but they're really tanky, and they actually have like some good punch with their tanks and stuff. Yeah, I'm working on a Nurgle list right now, which I think is going to be really fun. So yeah, excited to play some tabletop soon. So let's see. I think they're still playing it. As far as the tiebreakers go, we have, so let me set up the notepad right now. Okay, really? Is my search browser just like struggling? Come on, you can do it. I believe. Okay, so come on. I think the game's like screwing it up here. All right, so notepad. Probably need to update my computer, guys. It's getting a little bit old. Okay. And now let's start to do the old tie breaking. My favorite part of the stream. I'm really excited for Chaos Dwarfs. Man, they're going to be so fun. It's like anytime we get new stuff for this game, it's exciting. It's been a dry spell, man. Like, Warhammer 3 is fun and great, but it was a rough launch. We suffered for a long time. Remember how absolutely terrible multiplayer was when we had only like the 6 game 3 factions or 7 game 3 factions, and it was just like they had bare bones units. God, that was awful. We had to wait how long for Immortal Empires? Like, what was it, like 4 or 5 months or something, or 3 months? I can't remember. It was just nasty, man. It was a rough one. It was a very rough one. Okay, so either one of these players is going to be in contention. So let me message them. Okay. When you two are done, score is reported. Okay, so just messaging the players to make sure there's no issues here. So yeah, these guys are both contenders for finalists, so we have to wait for them to finish. It's been a drought, dude. It's been a drought for sure. Didn't Lore of Hashut have a map-wide spell? You're talking about tabletop? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough about them in tabletop. You need to remake the hype trailer. Honestly, part of me is like, why even make a hype trailer when we could just use that trailer they did with Carl Franz and like the Order versus Chaos? That trailer was so good. That trailer was so good. I think that was like, what do you guys think is the best trailer of all time in Total War? Personally, for me, I feel like this was the best trailer. The one where Franz is having the council with the Order Tide, and then like it has those cool cuts to like Archeon and all these characters, and like that epic ending where like the Empire and Kislev are fighting off the like end times together. That was like, dude, I honestly, I don't, yeah, what's better than that? That trailer was so good. I mean, there were some other really good ones. Vampire Coast was super fun. I think the Vanilla Empire trailer is pretty great. I'm super biased, obviously, but you know. Yeah, I don't know what trailer was better than that. I really don't. Okay. Aces. Okay, so they just finished their game. They're going to report it, and then we'll go on to the grand finals here. That trailer was the best, for sure. I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't think of anything that even rivals that. All right, so time for the dreaded tiebreaker of the gods. So we have Serkia is going to be in the finals. And then we have Sandwich. We have Alls, and we have F-Pod and Platypus. All right, so it's a four-way tiebreaker. So let's go ahead and start with the dreaded Sandwich. So just bear with me for a minute while I do the tiebreakers. So we had Kark with 2, 2+, and then the next matchup was against Serkia, which is 4. It is a very strong tiebreaker. And then we have F-Pod, which I believe is 3. Sandwich with a very strong tiebreaker so far. And one against Lazulis as well, which was 1. All right. So now for Alls. So that's 4, 3, 8, and then that's 10 on Sandwich's tiebreaker. I'm getting quicker at this. The dreaded math stream is upon us. I hate math. Math was always my worst subject. I was so trash at it. All right, guys, bear with me for a second. So he battled the Spaghetti. Was able to win that. And who else did he play? And we had that. So it's 1 plus Zulus is another 2. 1, I think. And then also battled F-Pod as well. Those 3. So 5, 6, 7. 7. Now for F-Pod's tiebreaker. We're making our way through. Hope you guys are doing well. Demogryph Knights. Dude, Demogryph Knights are awesome. I have 9 painted Demogryph Knights in tabletop. They're probably one of my favorite units on the Empire. And if I was playing tonight, I would have brought Demogryph Knights for you. I'm sorry, I totally would have. Frostlight, thank you so much for the donation, by the way. I just, yeah, we had one Empire player sign up, but then they forgot to check in and showed up like 5 or 10 minutes late. So, yeah, it's the nature of the beast. All right, so for F-Pod, it's good to see you, by the way, Hadries, as well. Hope you've been doing well. So Stingers is going to be 2 plus, then against Kane. Kane with 1 probably means not going to be there. Then against Sandwich, which is 3. And then who was your first game? First game was against Alls, which is 3 as well. Okay. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now what needs to happen is somebody in Discord needs to message me and be like, you know, yeah, you got the, there was a mistake in one of the score entries, so you have to redo everything. Okay, let's see Platy now. Okay, Platypus played against Serkia. 4 plus. And then against Kark, which was 2. Almost done, my friends. Hang tight. You'll hate Chaos Dwarves, and they're about economics and engineering. Yeah, if they make me do any like equations or math in the game, I'm just not going to play their campaign. I'm just like, no, I'm good. All right, and then Stingers is another 2. And who was Platypus's first opponent? Solid Spaghetti. All right, great. So we have a tie between Sandwich and Platypus. So here we go. And now, since they're tied, the next tiebreaker is the leaderboard, which I believe it would be Platypus, but we'll go ahead and check. So I think. So Platypus is currently ranked number 4, and Sandwich is number 7. So the tiebreaker would go to Platypus. Okay. So it is going to be... Yeah, F-Pod, you got 9 points, correct? Yeah. Serkia versus Potty. Rematch. Grand finals. I will set up lobby and send code, please. All right, so we got our grand finals. I think it's Skaven versus Wood Elves. Did they play today in today's tournament? I'm not sure. Let me see. Looking here. Did they play? Yeah, they just actually played. So they get a chance to run it back here. So they had the best scores. Yes, yes. All right, perfect. And it looks like we're all good. Okay, so I will host it. Tourney finals. And password is going to be this. The dreaded 123 password. Wait, I got it. Okay, so Platypus has actually got a lobby already. No problem, so we can join that one. Okay, so they're already there. They played last game. So these guys are playing, but Platypus still had the best tiebreaker. So he gets another chance at it, which is going to be fun. On Black Ark. All right, guys, it's go time. Grand finals, baby. Somebody say it's Heir of Carthage's birthday today. Is that true? If it is, I gotta go say happy birthday. I gotta hunt him down and say happy birthday. All right, guys. Grand final. Best of one. Skaven versus Wood Elves. It looks like the Wood Elves had beaten them earlier in the tournament, but since Platypus performed so well, you know, he is going to have another chance at it, essentially. He has returned. It is time. Oh, yeah, dude. It's going to be fun. Now, what will the Rats do against Wood Elves? I always felt like the Wood Elves have some pretty good rushing tools here, but since they played earlier, they kind of know each other's builds, so there's going to be some, like, mind games with this one, I feel. One sec. I got to peek at the builds and see what they're going to be changing. Okay. Okay. I'm liking the builds already. I'm liking it. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let me go check something on Total Tavern too and see the old bounties. Okay. This is fun. It's definitely going to be quite a bit of fun. I got a fun surprise for you guys once this game loads in. Been watching. Yeah, Air was the what got me into doing YouTube in general. I remember Total War Warhammer came out, and I used to watch Heir of Carthage for like some Shogun stuff and some of the Rome stuff he did, like before I was even thinking about doing YouTube. But I saw him covering Total War Warhammer, and it really kind of kindled my my passion to start covering it. So yeah, it was great. He's an awesome dude too. I've had the chance to meet him in person a couple times. Air is a really cool guy. I've got to meet most people. Let's see. So yeah, I went to college with Italian Spartacus back in 2006, 2007. Got to meet Zerkovic. I met him. I met Lionheart once, if I'm not mistaken. Bunch of other folks. No way he brings Durthu versus Skaven. It might not be the worst. If the Skaven like aren't expecting it, they don't bring like anti-bait like armor like that. Maybe. I don't know, man. It could totally happen. Thank you guys for sticking around, by the way. It's been a really fun stream tonight. Glad I decided to jump on. Air's been doing a lot of Rome too recently, huh? Yeah. I remember watching his Rome stuff pretty frequently. He's great. He's bringing back the old ways, huh? So Skaven are ready, guys. Skaven are ready. He's coming for blood here. I would love to see Orion as well. I think the Ogre Kingdoms trailer is definitely top 5 for me. I don't know if I would say top 3, but top 5, 100%. Like, the song is so catchy. It's just such an earworm, you know? That one and the Vampire Coast one are just so good. Have I met Legend of Total War? I haven't, no. Because I think he lives in Australia, right? So, like, when CA had some events, like, that were in Europe, and also stateside, and he was not at any of the ones I went to, I don't think. Yeah, so I didn't get to meet him. I didn't. Yeah, so we have Wood Elves versus Skaven in the grand finals. Pretty cool. Both are considered to be underdog factions, right? Like, single faction, everyone expects, like, you know, Vampire Coast or, you know, Khorne or one of these, like, you know, 50% plus win rate factions, but then we get 2 factions in the low 40s getting to the grand finals. Yeah, the Vampire Coast one is really good. I have met Pixelated Apollo before. He was at one of the very first events I went to a long, long time ago. I think I still have a picture of that. Do I still have that picture? Let me see if I can find that. That was the launch of Warhammer 2, that one. Yeah, I might have that picture somewhere. That was wild, man. I was in my late 20s back then. I was like 28 or something, 27. Yeah, it's like crazy how time flies. That game came out, what, 2017? It's like, geez, dude, like 6 years ago? God damn. It's crazy, isn't it? Think you're going to do any co-op streams when the Chaos Dwarves? Yeah, I'll do probably a head-to-head campaign of some sort. Like, I'll probably do a solo campaign with them, and then maybe like a PvP campaign with them. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what like all the options are. I've met Indie Pride several times. Yeah, I've met him several times. Yeah, he's been at most of the ones I've gotten to go to, but yeah, wild times, man. Spring chicken turn, yeah. Doesn't feel that way. No, I feel good though. Life's good, man. You know, everyone's got hardships and different things they deal with, and yeah, just gotta keep cruising, man. Just gotta push it all down, bottle it all up. Just keep going. Yeah, like a head-to-head campaign with like several Chaos Dwarf characters fighting could be a really fun one too. That could be quite neat. Will the rats get their daily dose of vitamin Jerthu, or will the wood rats rip logs off the Isha's prize forest? We'll see. Tonight at 8 o'clock. Yeah, more or less 8 o'clock. Dude, I feel like time has been flying so fast the past couple of years. So, question for you guys. Like, for all of you guys who have gotten to your 30s, I felt like when I hit 30, like, time just sped up. Obviously, I know there's probably some rational explanations for it, because like when you're younger, your brain is like learning like patterns, and it's learning like routine that it has to go through on a regular basis. So it's like, it seems like it's slower. Whereas I think when you get older, you kind of are in more of a routine in many things as it pertains to how your brain processes information. So that, I thought that was a pretty good explanation for that. But like, I feel like, man, when I hit like 30, 31, dude, time just started flying. I don't know about you guys, but it goes by so much faster. Yeah. KV just like, I just hit my 30s with like 3 dots. Everyone's like, yeah. Wait until you're 40? No, dude, Steven, don't put that evil on me. I'm actually looking forward to being like, you know, I have no qualms with growing older. It's just, yeah, the COVID years did go by really quick. They really did. Big time. Life is going by way too fast. Yeah, it sucks, dude. You see, like, how many of you guys, let's put this to a question. All right, start a poll. You cyborg. So I'm going to ask a question to you guys. A philosophical question of sorts. If you were, let's say you were 80 years old, okay, you're kind of maybe at the end of the road a little bit. Your mental facilities are sharp, but your body's kind of given out on you. And some shadowy government organization came to you and said, we want you to be like a cyborg. Like, so we're going to transfer your consciousness in your brain and, you know, somehow like keep your brain sharp and transfer your consciousness into a cyborg body. Like, would you do it? So here's the question. For me, I'm like, I'll do anything to get to see some Star Trek shit, you know. But I'm curious what you guys think. Yeah. So would you cyborg is the question. It's always interesting. For me, I probably would, just because I want to explore the stars. I want to see aliens. I want all this stuff, right? Easy decision, absolutely, right? Yeah. But I also understand the flip side of things, because imagine the flip side of it, right? Like, it could be like some weird dystopian, like hell. You're trapped in this like hellish cage. You know, your body feels different. It's like, you know, there's a lot, right? There's a lot. Not becoming a government Roomba. Yeah, of course. We got to get into the drawbacks. There's a lot there. But like, I'd be like, yeah, screw it, man. Whatever. Like, make me RoboCop. Yeah, I thought it's a fun discussion to have. Exactly. Owen knows. He says, I want as much time as my wife as possible. Yes, exactly. That is the winning answer there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the grand finals of tonight's stream. It is going to be Menacing Platypus going for the Tretch bounty, ladies and gentlemen. So if Menacing Platypus wins tonight's tournament with the Skaven, he will be unlocking a custom Tretch avatar just for him. it will be he and he alone who will have the Tretch avatar for all time, which is very exciting. So for this Skaven, a lot of skirmishers. It's going to be gutter runners up in the front line, backed up by poison wing globes to deal with infantry, and the Chad avalanche mortars. So here they go. That is pretty exciting stuff for sure. These guys are going to be able to put some hurt on the Wood Elf infantry and archers. The big dragon is going to be the Sisters of Twilight on the beast. Pretty good at causing terror, gooning Skaven characters. And what's really nice about Sisters of Twilight is their conjoined destiny ability. So basically, when they get injured, they can just self-heal themselves, and it's very, very cost-effective. So yeah, if he wins with Tretch, guys, he is going to be unlocking a bounty. Now, Nerexa here, who is also Serkia, they go by several names, but same person, already has won the Wild Rider avatar, so we'll see if the ranks can be joined here by the Skaven. On the low ground, we see some rats. We see clan rats and clan rat spears, ogres, as well as some poison wing globadiers moving up to kind of fight in this choke point and cause a little bit of havoc. And up in the sky, the Sisters of Twilight just kind of patrolling back and forth. It looks like there's going to be 4 units of gutter runners right here. And Tretch Craventail getting down there, man. He is going to be the difference maker. You know, Skaven players unsummon their lord to avoid their lord being sniped and avoiding that big leadership penalty. But, you know, Tretch is basically so difficult and annoying to kill that it kind of accomplishes the same thing. I know you guys are getting to see a bounty attempt live here on the stream. It's good. Really good play here from the Skaven, using the gutter runners to kind of screen out the Sisters of Twilight, keeping them at bay. We don't see any points being banked, so the Wood Elves are summoning in assets, as are the Skaven. So both players kind of just bringing in perpetual reinforcements. And the Avalanche Mortars are going to start putting some hurt onto the archers, I would imagine. Yeah, we got Deepwood Scouts right here. We got Eternal Guards. And, man, this seems like the Skaven have a lot of answers for this Wood Elf army. Like, the buffering with the skirmishers to keep the dragon at bay. The mortars to really pound the archers at a distance. Granted, the Wood Elf archers are putting some decent hurt on the gutter runners. Gutter runners themselves do have 20% physical resist, so they're not, like, helpless. But even still, they're very lightly armored, so they could get pounded. Okay, potential overextension here. Platypus going to be getting attacked by the Glade Riders with the spears. Glade Rider's going to move in there and be able to potentially push these guys down. Up on the top side, Sisters of Twilight charging in. They do get those gutter runners, and we get a little bit of a rout. So the Skaven are punished a little for overextending with those guys, but for the most part, I would say it was worthy, as we do see a very beat-up unit of Swift Shiver Shards here, which has been mortared. And now the Dark Lord Tretch Craventail is on his way down. Look at him, dude. Oh, yeah. Here comes Tretch. Tretch and the Warlock. The Warlock Engineer obviously going to be rocking Cleansing Rune, and it looks like he does have the Warp Shard armor as well. So Tretch going to give it to you, man. He's blasting some DMX as he gets into combat and attacks those Treekin right there. And we do also see the Clan Rats piling into fight as well, with the second Chieftain coming out. No, that's the first Chieftain, with the Warlock Engineer being the other one. So it looks like Cleansing Rune. Avalanche Mortars with huge damage! Oh my god, that was brutal, dude! Look at the Glade Riders, or the Glade Guard, just get literally one-shotted and almost broken by that Avalanche Mortar. Avalanche Mortars are so gangster. Those units are so good. So we see the Gutter Runners keeping the Sisters of Twilight honest. And you know what's kind of funny about the Tretch pick is, like, there's not really any good targets for the Sisters to shoot at. Like, there's still a big terror-causing dragon, but for the most part, the Skaven seem to be cackling pretty hard here, as we do see the little Chieftain down here with his Shank battling, as well as the Warlock Engineer. And Skaven do have a pretty firm stranglehold on this. Avalanche Mortars again, dude, they're so nasty. Oh my god, and those are the Hawkeyes of Drakira. Those are no mere, like, cheap archers. That is a really expensive archery unit, which is just getting Avalanche Mortared. And obviously, the Wood Elves understand the urgency of this, and it looks like the Sisters now are going to be attacking into them and are going to be trying to take them down, which is a very, very good call. Because if these Avalanche Mortars keep shooting, oh my god, they got another volley off. Hawkeyes of Drakira getting absolutely Shadow Realmed by the Avalanche Mortars, man. And Skaven, they're just bumping and grinding, man. They're living their best life. Treekin getting worn down by Tretch and the Chieftain. More rats on the way up, and the Skaven just in a very good defensive posture here. It looks like both sides, nobody wants to fight the high ground. Both sides are going to be committing all assets and just kind of sitting a couple defensive assets here and here and here and here. So the bottom really is going to be the epicenter of combat for sure. So Tretch continues to fight. Somebody in chat asking about what abilities does Tretch have. He has anti-large, and he does also have the ability to stay here and get help, so he can give leadership to nearby units, and that's pretty much it. Nobody brings it anyways. It's a shit ability, so... But yeah, a lot of the Wood Elf archers getting pounded, man. Those Avalanche Mortars, a huge problem. And the Sisters of Twilight also being surrounded by Wolf Rats, as well as the Rout Ogres. So the Rout Ogres have got a surround here. They got Gutter Runners throwing their Ninja Stars in. Sisters are going to be trying to escape, and the Conjoined Destiny could be proccing, but if he can break the Sisters near the edge of the map, that's going to be crazy, crazy strong. It looks like the Sisters are able to kind of hug the edge of the terrain and get away there, which is very nice, but the Sisters are now broken. So if they get chased off the battlefield, dude, that is probably going to be game over. As we do see Menacing Platypus with a 5,400 to 2,300 against the Wood Elves. Menacing Platypus closing in on his bounty. Again, if he wins this game with Tretch, we're going to be making him a custom avatar of Tretch Craventail, and we do see the Flensing Rune going down, not so much to get the kill, but more so to keep them running off the battlefield with perpetual damage. But remember, the Sisters have that big healing ability, so they're going to be able to heal up, but overall, it looks like the Skaven are in a commanding position, as now they have an opportunity to maybe push the high ground if they want to. They could take the Globes, but, you know, Skaven are a very defensive faction. They can be aggressive, but typically they really shine in the defense once they entrench a position, so I think that you would probably just want to sit, although maybe they will move up with some skirmishers. Dude, Tretch being the unstoppable terror of the old world, just shanking down some of the Treekin here. We see some mortar fire going into the Deepwood Scouts, and that is going to be a quick victory, a surrender, as the man, he got it with Tretch. He got the avatar, baby. GG, well played. Those mortars did so much. So, Menacing Platypus unlocks the Tretch avatar. So I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. So I'll screenshot that just so I can use this to make the avatar later. And man, that was a game. The mortars with the steel chair, 2,200, and Tretch was just chilling there too. Gutter Runners did good. Yeah, man. He taps out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It was a quick ending, but it was also fun. So ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed seeing some hot Total War action back on the channel, I know it's been a while since we've streamed it, please do drop a like on your way out. It helps out a ton. It helps out a ton. So helps get more people into the old family. So we'll be back tomorrow with Age of Empires. Thursday will probably be another Company of Heroes stream, and then Friday will either be Blood Bowl or a Total War tournament of some sorts. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about having a faction war, but Platypus has unlocked the dreaded Tretch Craventail avatar, and will be getting put on the page as well. So let me show you guys. So if we go over here, and once an avatar is unlocked, other people can't get it. It's a unique avatar. So if we look at the bounty, we can see the Craven. So he wins that. And once they're highlighted like this, it means they can't be unlocked anymore. And we're going to be adding more bounties as we go forward. So yeah. That's it. GG, well played. See you guys next time. Again, please drop a like on the way out. It helps out. Let's see if we can get those numbers up over 400. And I appreciate all the donations. 2 new channel members tonight as well. The good times are rolling. And I'm going to go give Platypus their tournament win right now. We're good. Thank you guys. Take care. See you next time. We'll be streaming throughout the rest of the week, more or less. And yes, Lord Tretch has done it. He has. He has. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for joining. Congrats to Platypus once again. And that's it for tonight. Take care.